think everything's ready. If not, we'll just wing it. Why is my closed captioning not working? It should be. I changed that. See, everything's not working.
Time to wing it.
It's time to wing it. There we go. That should be working now. There it is. We have captions.
Hooray. Captions.
Happy Friday night.
It's all right.
I think you moved your camera a little bit.
I did move my camera.
Yeah, I gotta fix that. Hold on. I don't want your head chopped off.
I mean,
there we go.
Now you have to fix everything.
Why?
Because it has your camera in my camera.
Oh, it does. I see it hanging over there. Yep.
Yeah. Your camera is in my camera.
Oh, I can probably do this.
My hair is still so wet.
There we go. That's better.
Got it figured out.
Yep. I just moved me.
I moved my camera specifically, and now you moved it to make me like completely not in the place that I want to be. Like you cut out everything that I wanted to show. Like all of this I want, none of this I want.
Okay. Oh shit.
Like there's a little you.
So my dumbass was just trying to move little me by clicking in OBS.
That's amazing. Yeah, I wanted my keyboard in there and my mic and all my stuff that's in this corner.
Let's see if I can adjust for that.
I can move my chair if that's what the struggle is.
I'll be able to get some of that in there.
This is going to drive me nuts. Get out. Get on my hair.
All right, I think that's the best I'll be able to do of getting your keyboard in. If I move it any more, then little me is visible.
Little me.
Little me.
He was going to drive me. I'll be right back.
Okay. Great co-host.
Shut up.
We'll just wait. So we're going to talk about today all things, not all things, but things Twitch, OBS, slobs, bots, things like that. You're a new streamer. You got OBS installed or slobs. What do you do next? We're going to talk through those things too. Hydration. Hydration is important. We can talk about like channel points. We can talk about where to go to modify your emotes or upload your new emotes. Let's say you just got affiliated. We can show that.
What are we showing?
Where you go now to upload like your emotes. You just got affiliated. You've got a couple emote slots where you unlocked. You got some people who give you bits, so you unlock some bit emotes. A lot of people didn't know that you got emote slots dependent upon the amount of bits that people have redeemed in your channel to you. So
yeah,
Twitch has recently changed that. You can now modify all of your emotes in one location. Your normal subscriber emotes, but also your bid emotes are all manageable from the same page now, which is great.
That is good. That makes it a lot easier. I wish they would have more live 24/7 report. I mean, not reports, but support for that kind of stuff.
Well, they might not have live 24-hour support. But what Twitch
We
does have on Friday nights is our touching tips. You can come by anytime and ask for some help
anytime during that time.
during that time. Friday nights, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I used to have a lot of people messaging me about stuff like that. Like, hey, can you answer this question about this? And I'm like, are you live right now? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, let me come in there. I'll show you. It was always really easy to just show how to get stuff done. Setting up commands is really important. Setting up bots is really important.
It is. Personally, so you have multiple cloud bots, right? Like you have the big one that a lot of people use. Well, there's a couple big ones, right? There's Stream Elements for cloud bots. There's the Streamlabs cloud bot, and then there's Nightbot. I personally like Nightbot. He's been around, I think, the longest. He's um, a lot of partnered streamers give Nightbot the one of their free bot account or bot subs, which means that it allows you to put commands in Nightbot and make use of a lot of partnered emotes that already exist out there. I don't know if the other ones do that. I'm sure some partners give Stream Elements, the lifetime sub stuff like that. I'm sure that's the case. If partners use Stream Elements, they would probably do that. That would make sense. But
I don't see a lot of partners using Stream Elements, which I think is really strange. I definitely don't see enough people using WiseBot. I think that all three of those are important because they can work with each other. But I think a lot more partnered streamers use a custom bot. It's really common for that to be the case, which kind of limits them.
yeah, so and that brings up, I think, a good point is like if you're going to use a custom bot, either something maybe you hire somebody or something like a Streamlabs chat bot or one of the other ones that are out there, right? And you create a Twitch account for that bot, and it's you put your token in there, so it authenticates as that account for you, and it's only in your channel, and you can put your custom commands in there. Um, I find that it's still important to have one of the cloud bots like Nightbot in your channel as well because they can work so well off each other.
Right.
A great example, not to self promote in this channel here or anything, but we've got my printful command, right? My printful command doesn't work on this scene because I don't have everything added on this one, but you'll see Nightbot says exclamation point printful right after I said it. And what happens on my main game scene is a small advertisement for Printful also shows up on stream. So I'm using my custom. Oh, that's why it didn't work because I didn't start my bot. I wasn't ready. So if my bot was actually running, it would have shown that little advertisement in the bottom left hand corner there. So Nightbot is advertising with text in the channel, but I can control scenes through OBS through my bot to show animations, to show images on screen and stuff like that, to also grab the viewer's attention of what Nightbot is currently talking about. And those could be important too, especially if you have a very active chat. If you have a really active chat might not see Nightbot say here go and get some merch here, right? But if it shows up on screen, which is what they're looking at, they're going to see that and potentially it's marketing, it's advertisement, it's
Right.
give it to them in both places, and so the bots do work well together that way.
For sure. I mean, it's nice to have a bot that does custom things for your own channel, but if you don't have bots that do like generic or basic stuff, you're really not utilizing all of the free things, and it's really hard a lot of the times for people that are mods to have access to those other bots.
Yeah,
A lot of them are very like limited, and it's really easy to use Stream Elements and Nightbot through the chat for a mod that doesn't have that access, like behind the scenes access, or a mod that you don't want them to have that access, but can do like a little bit of stuff in the chat.
absolutely. Hello, Rug.
Hi, Ruggy.
Yeah, the hat's right here. Friday nights I usually don't wear it.
It's because I get on to him about it, because I've asked him to grow out his hair, and if he covers it up, nobody can see the luxurious locks.
You slobs. That's okay, Rug. Like it really is. Like we're here tonight to hopefully help whether you use slobs or OBS. Like I've actually got let's see, hold on, I can turn it on real quick. Boom.
Well, and a lot of people get overwhelmed with that too. They don't understand like that they can look up all of those things and learn how to use those pretty quickly. They get like, oh, maybe I'll just need a couple. It does really help to have like a couple of mods too in your channel and say, hey, can you look up these things? Because I don't know how all of them works, and I want to be able to like make them work in my channel. Like some of them, the streamer should be able to set up pretty easily, but you should have mods that are supporting you. The streamer is supposed to do the streaming part. The mods are supposed to help out with commands and with the bots and setting that up. So it should be accessible to the mods in your channel, and you should be able to trust the mods in your channel to take care of those things that are actually really simple that you don't have to look up. And that way you can add those extra bots and not have to stress out about what they all do. I mean, even stuff like WiseBot, you don't need WiseBot for a lot of things. It's only a few things that you need WiseBot for. So you don't have to go into deep, search about WiseBot. Just put the few things that it does on there, and that's it.
Yep. Hello, Zahava. Speaking of WiseBot, right? Like WiseBot's in my channel, but I have WiseBot in what they call airplane mode. So what WiseBot is not a mod in my channel. He has no access to do anything in my channel. I literally use WiseBot because I'm a curious person, and if I lose follows, I want to know who. And WiseBot is the only one that I have found that actually tracks that information. So I brought WiseBot into my channel just for that information. What'd you say?
Yep. I said, you found that?
Yes, he's
actually, many people did not realize that WiseBot did that. That WiseBot shows you follows and unfollows and keeps track of it. And you can even see like when somebody hasn't been in the channel for a while and they come in, they're like, oh, I thought I was following you. That's really weird. You can go back and look and say, oh, actually, it just unfollowed you at this time. It's not a big deal. So you can have that information. But I also see a lot of people using WiseBot to count viewers. Like it automatically has that in the channel, and it'll say like 3 viewers or 1 more viewer has added, but it also shows the negative ones. And if you even like, if you want to count those viewers, that's fine, but you can take off the negative ones. So that you're only getting the positive information, which is super helpful.
Yeah.
You can take it away, and it won't say like lost 1 viewer or now you're down to 2 viewers or whatever.
No,
So
absolutely.
that's definitely like not important. But if you're that kind of person that needs to see it, then it has that too. So
absolutely. And like that's actually one of the things in WiseBot that I don't care for. I don't like WiseBot going in there all the time and saying, you've got 5 viewers, now you have 6, now you're down to 3. Yeah. Like I personally, like I don't know if people. Let me add a capture for my desktop here so you guys can see this. We'll add a window capture. It might go crazy and cover the entire screen, so bear with me for uno momento.
Your bots can also help mod your channels, like with words that you don't want. I mean, Twitch has kind of changed that, where you have the auto mod now. It used to not have that, and you can go into your auto mod and like stop things from being said in your chat. I've seen some partnered streamers not have their auto mod on that had the words like racial slurs, and they didn't have those in their auto mod, which was really strange to me. Like, you should have those words, because if you don't have a mod automatically deleting that message, it's going to sit there in chat. It should be like, that's another thing. Like, make sure you have your auto mod settings put on. And again, your mods, they can go in and adjust those settings. Man, all the mods have those capabilities now. There's mod view, which I'm not like too keen on. I'm sure eventually, like if I had like 20 streams I was modding like I used to, then I would use that. But it really is important to go through that, even if it's just the auto mod, and go and put the words that you don't want said in chat in there at the very least. But your mods can do that too. Definitely go check and see if those settings are on Rug. It's really important. Like, and you can put like different spellings of the word, which are really like commonly done. People try to get away with saying things and try to get you to say things on stream, and it'll just automatically delete their message and remove it. If you don't have a mod available, it does it for you, which is really, really nice.
So I don't know how well you can see the screen above me, because all of my views of my stream are kind of condensed, so it does look small.
It's tiny.
Yeah, so it is a little condensed. But so if you come into your Twitch dashboard, and if you don't open the Twitch dashboard when you're live, you should, because it gives you a couple things. So let me go back to that. So the stream, it's called the Stream Manager. So I have mine set up here where on the right hand side I have some common like commands that I can run while I'm streaming, and I have it on my right hand monitor at the top. Mostly I use the 60 and 90-second ad break. I've been running those when I'm playing Siege. In between matches, I'll run an ad. And like, I get it, people hate ads. I hate ads. I've learned to kind of deal with them when I go into a stream that I'm not sub to, even though, like ever since Twitch, fixed it so ad blockers don't block their ads anymore. But here's the thing, right? If you're a sub, you don't see ads. But on top of that, if I run a 60-second ad break, that means for, I think it's 32 minutes, anybody who comes into the stream,
that's why
they don't see ads.
That's why I get to call you daddy.
Hello, Dub.
Right. So you're in control of that over Twitch being in control of that.
Correct. And that's the other reason why I run them. All the best ideas. Yeah, that's the other reason why I run them too, right? Is because if I don't run 60-second ad breaks here and there or whatever, Twitch turns around and they're going to run them anyway.
Right. They're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. So I'm in control. It's not during gameplay or anything like that. So I have the say of when ads show on my stream. So again, opening the stream manager, it's dashboard.twitch.tv. You're logged in. It'll bring you to this view here. You can see at the top, kind of, maybe, I don't know. I have viewers turned off. I can't see it. I don't want to see it. I don't care how many viewers I have when I'm streaming. I really don't. I am going to provide the best content I can when I'm streaming, whether I have 1 viewer or 20 viewers. It doesn't matter to me. Same thing with subscribers and sub points. I don't want to see that while I'm live either. I check it occasionally.
The ad one makes the pre-roll go away, right?
Yes. So you can see in the top right corner here.
So that's the most important thing that I think is huge, because Twitch puts the ad the minute you get to the channel.
Yes. So and we haven't ran an ad.
If you have a new viewer that comes in and sees an ad on your channel, it's more of a chance that they are not going to stay. They're going to switch to something else. And Twitch was saying that they were going to do a pop out, and they did it for like 5 seconds, that they were going to do a pop out of the streamer while the ad ran, and they don't do that, which makes me annoyed. But if you're in control of those ads and Twitch is not running that, it's much better when you have people coming into your stream. They're not hit with an ad first, and they're like, oh, hold on, I have to see this ad first.
Rug, I'll get to
I just turned on auto mod with Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. So the what level should it be at? So for anybody who hasn't, we had the pre. Um, so in the dashboard on the left hand side under settings, you'll see moderation. So this is where auto mod exists. I'll go through a couple of these too, I guess. So come in here. Um, this is what I have it at. It's kind of your preference, right? Like it, it's really up to you. Like I have custom settings where it's less filtering, because sexual content I have no filtering.
Right. So I think, in my opinion, AutoMod should be as low as you can get it, and then just go in and specify those terms that you do not want in your chat. Now, obviously, you're not going to remember all of them, but it does hold messages to see if you can allow it as well. Those unsure things. So, like, maybe start out with medium, but don't do it. Don't go all amped up on that thing, because it'll just really distract you from your stream, because people will constantly be getting like timed out
Yeah.
and that kind of thing, and it'll really pull your attention away.
So this one here is where you add the blocked phrases. So the auto mod rule sets is where you set the level of filtering. Again, it's kind of up to you where you want to set that. And then you come into, I don't know if I really want to go into here because I don't know what I have blocked, and I don't know if I want to show what I have blocked. So, but that's where you would go and add those terms. And then,
I mean, you can always Google racial slurs and literally synonyms for those slurs and copy paste and put them all in there. Derogatory terms is a good thing to look up, and that way you know things you shouldn't say and things you don't want in your stream. Like, yeah, I mean, it is cringy adding the words and typing the words, but what you want is to make sure that nobody does that in your stream. I will say that I do want to respond to that previous comment about Rug saying that you don't check the stats, that it does take away from the whole experience. I have a different opinion on that, but the fact is that Rug, streams as a normal, like, everyday streamer, but all of the time. And so that's your personal, like, preference. If you're just in there to just play games and it doesn't matter to you at all, you don't care what your numbers are. But as somebody that wants to be affiliated, that wants to gain more and can't put the time in to grind a stream constantly like that, or is like nervous about those kind of things, I think it is important to have those stats, because if you're seeing when you get the most viewers those days, and you can't do an 8-hour stream every day, you put more time into those days that you are receiving those kinds of viewers. Or, like, if it's a certain type of game that you played that you really like and more people are showing up for those and that time works for you, then yes, you should see those stats, because eventually somebody will get burned out that's thinking they need to constantly grind the stream to get an affiliate status or whatever, and they will be upset and they will get frustrated. Even if they're not looking at the numbers, they will get frustrated that they don't have a busy chat. And it's like maybe just Mondays for them that those viewers aren't showing up, and they're not streaming regularly on Tuesdays, but the last 2 Tuesdays they got 10 viewers. Like, they got a busy chat. They need that. It's important to look at those stats, because it is like a business model. You want to see who your audience is, you want to see who you're getting regularly, so that you can be there at your best for that time. Because if you're not consistently at your best during your stream, it's going to show, and it's going to really wear you out, and it's going to make you not want to stream anymore. Which it goes fast too. Like, if you don't have somebody to talk to, obviously keep a going running conversation about the game with yourself, whichever. But if you're seeing more people showing up during a certain time or during a certain day for you, try to stream during those times, see what it's like. That's really important for those stats, for sure. Again, like, rug streams no matter what, like all the time, but that's not a common occurrence. Like it's not common for people to just constantly be streaming on a regular basis. It's awesome that you have that time. Like that's amazing, and you're getting people consistently there because you are on on times that people see you. You're constantly like consistent posting on Twitter, consistent mentioning people, consistent rating. Like those are all really, really good qualities of a streamer because you need those things. Yes, that's
Yeah.
important too. I see that, Rug. That's huge. Like I said, if you're a person that can stream that long for that many days and just be content with playing whatever games you're doing, do that. But it's not common to stream like that. And a lot of the people that are wanting affiliate or are affiliates that are the growing streamers, they will burn themselves out, or like, yes, you are at home regularly, but a lot of people aren't at home regularly, so they're trying to like constantly stream and work, or take care of their family or something, and they get burnt out really, really quick.
So I want to touch real quick on the automod stuff, Rug. Like the if you don't want to type, because you're not going to be able to list all of the racial slurs and all of that anyway. So if you go under discrimination, like maybe that one you want to turn on to some filtering or more filtering, and what that ends up meaning is you may start seeing more automod catch more things, because Twitch does have a huge list of these things already, so they're going to
Yes.
catch them, and then you say, okay, this is okay or this isn't, and then it kind of learns from that too, and it will block other things in the future, but it may let some things go because you said it's okay. So you know I have mine on less filtering. It seems to catch. I mean, I don't really have much in there, like that comes through. I don't really see those types of things. But also keep in mind that Nightbot has similar stuff too, right? Like you can block words from being said from Nightbot, and Nightbot can turn around and immediately ban or time out or whatever settings you want as well. And then you can also say, if they're a sub, they're immune to these words. Like obviously you wouldn't want subs to be immune from racial slurs or anything like that.
Derogatory
Yeah.
or racial.
But you can also have fun with it on the Nightbot side. Like Savage has well, I don't know if he still does, but he used to have Xbox as a banned term in Nightbot that would time you out if you talked about Xbox in his chat. So things like that, right? Like the other thing is about like if you get if you're curious about what days, right? Like I'm not saying look at it when you're streaming, because like I said, I don't do that. But what I do is I go back through. I don't remember if it's stream summary or channel analytics. I think it's stream summary, but that will show you what your peak times are for the most unique chatters, what your peak view count is at what time and what days, and that can give you the insight that you need to go, okay, well, on Mondays, I average 10 viewers or 15 viewers. On Tuesdays I get 3, right? Like, so maybe it's not worth me streaming on Tuesdays when when I have the time to do it on Mondays. Maybe I'll just stream on Mondays, I'll skip Tuesdays, and then I'll stream on Wednesdays. Like, as you were saying, right? Like, especially people who are trying to get affiliated or new affiliates. Like, let's be honest, Twitch is saturated with affiliated streamers.
Yes, but
us getting 10, 12, 15 viewers average is really good for the amount of streamers that there are on Twitch. Like, if you go through any category and sort them in reverse, you will scroll and scroll and scroll and see so many people with 0 viewers. Yeah, lucky, but not lucky. No, yeah. You do get the best baby time.
Yeah, you've got that best baby time ever. Like in a couple of years, that baby's not going to be so squishy. and maybe in a couple of years you'll be going back to work, but that is the best time to be with your kid. And I totally get that. Like, I got my first 2.5 years with my kid, and that is you can't take it back. Like, that is the best time. Yeah, you got to give him room. I mean, he's another person, of course. You got to share him too. Oh, that's great. That's huge. Like, that's really, really big. Like, definitely don't take that for granted. That is fantastic time, fantastic age to be with your kiddo. A lot of dads don't really like get that deep into that time frame, and it's huge. Like, the bonding time is really, really big for that time frame. You're doing great, Rug.
You are fantastic. I love when I'm in the stream and I see little Rug.
He crawled. That's enough. Tell him to stop it.
Time frames, what?
Time frames? What?
So the other thing too, right, is you got people who are grinding for affiliate. We went in when I was playing Grounded last week, right? I rated a streamer afterwards.
I was going to talk about that.
Not to mention any actual names or anything like that, but like, he's been streaming for, what was it, over a year?
Right. So that's what I was going to say, is that you said that we're saturated with affiliates, but we are also saturated with people that have been streaming for so long and they are not getting affiliates for the stupidest reasons.
Yeah.
Because they're not paying attention to the numbers.
Exactly.
Like, but that guy, again, he was like, I asked him, I was like, wait a second, like, how long have you been streaming? Because we noticed that they weren't affiliated. And he was like, oh, not very long, like a year. We were like, what?
Right, like he didn't really care.
Now. Like, what's going on? He didn't care, which was great. He was just like, oh, I don't know, but he didn't know either.
Right.
Like, he didn't understand that, like, these were things that could be really taken care of quickly. And like, even having your own emotes feels really good when you're a streamer. Yeah. Like, even if it's just that, it's not even about like having a bunch of people there. Like, it's cool having your own emotes, especially if you can use them other places.
The biggest mistake I see a lot of people every day. The biggest mistake I see a lot of people who are trying to get affiliated make is they stream every day for 10, 12 hours, and in that average time, they have one or fewer viewers, right? Like,
they're not averaging the time very well.
Yeah, so like they may have peak times where they do get 5, 7, 10 viewers, but most of their time is a very low number, and because of that, they're hurting themselves, right? Because they need that average. Like, they may have the followers already, and they clearly are going to easily get the amount of time streamed, but it's the average viewers that they're having the problem with. So the thing that I would tell anybody who's trying to get affiliated is stream the minimum number of hours. If you've already got the followers, and just you stream those minimum number of hours that you need to get your average 3 viewers, and and you'll get affiliated at the end of that month or week or whatever it is that you had that you have to stream those. And again, it goes back to go and check your stream summary and see what your peak time frames are and what your peak games are, and play those. That the person that we were talking about earlier, he had switched to a different game after Grounded, and when we were in there, when he was playing Grounded, he was averaging 7 to 10 viewers. When I checked back on him and saw that he switched to, I think it was like Cold War or something like that, he had 1 viewer, and it was me, because I was still in the stream. Like,
right,
like, you have to, you do have to keep an eye on that. And yes, I hate watching streamers who will stream for, Savage yesterday streamed for 38 minutes and then ended. But if that helps you get to affiliate, do it.
Definitely. Well, and like Spark said, like, definitely it's not elitism. We were just surprised that he hadn't gotten an affiliate. One, because like he interacted with his chat, he was talking a lot, he was nice, like he he had his little setup and everything, like he had his mic, he didn't just have a headset, he had his camera. And we thought like, oh, this is really weird, he looks like he's set up as an affiliate, like he's been doing this a little bit, but he's not affiliated. That's the only, thought process. Obviously, I'm sure you were joking, but it was definitely very like confusing. Like, this guy should be an affiliate. Like, why isn't he? And he seemed like, oh, it's no big deal. And we've met other people that were doing that too. They didn't understand why they weren't getting affiliated. But sometimes people just don't know. Again, there is no affiliate like path, like other than the check marks that Twitch gives you. There's nobody helping you like, hey, welcome to Twitch, like these are things that can get you going if you want to be a streamer, like add this to your channel, do these kinds of things, like this, like it's not there. So it's unheard of that you know what you're doing when you're streaming for X amount of time and not getting affiliated. Rug, I got you. I DM'd you that link. You're going to space, NASA. You're gonna stream on the moon. What planet are you gonna go to? I just found out an amazing thing. I have this thing for my phone, the little like pop socket. Obviously not a pop socket, like sticks on.
Right.
And I can put it on my bottle.
So you don't drop it?
And it works too. Yeah. I don't know if it would work on my water cup because it's probably heavier, but I was just messing with it. You better not be streaming on an alternate Twitch account, Dub. Don't let me miss that. A tent on the moon. That'd be pretty interesting. You'd have to set up a full like dome. What is it called? Biodome thing if you lived on the moon. What's next on the agenda? What are we looking at?
So that, I mean, you kind of hit on it a little bit, right? Like, first time streamer, like, what's a good thing for someone who's new to streaming to do? Like, what do they need to set up in, they figured out, let's say they figured out OBS, let's say, all of that. Like, what do they need in their channel to, keep it safe and keep it going? Like, do they, let's say they don't have any,
like a new affiliate.
yeah, let's say they don't have any friends to be mods or anything like that, to start off, like Spark was my first mod, when I started streaming. Like,
yeah. So my biggest recommendation to people that like ask those types of questions are go to people that are consistently streaming, not larger partnered streamers necessarily, that stream games that you enjoy, that you like, and interact in their chat. Don't go in and be like, hey, I'm affiliated, I need friends. I need some mods for my channel, follow. Don't do that. But interact, like get to know the streamer, get to know like their gameplay. If there's somebody that you would like to play with, go game with them. Go play games with them. Join their Discord. That you would like to model your stream like generally after, like, oh, I really like these things about this streamer. But do it with multiple streamers and get to know them, get to know their community. If you make friends there because of gaming, awesome. If you find people to play with, that's a great way to say like, hey, I'm going to be obviously not in their stream or when they're streaming, but to those people that you play with, hey, I'm going to be playing on this day. Do you want to play with me? I'm going to be streaming. And then you'll have people come to your chat and play with you. You know, like if you're playing single player games, say, hey, I really liked having a conversation with you. Do you want to come hang out on my Discord and chat with me? Like those, like stepping out and making a Twitch friend is definitely really important. If you don't have any real life friends, it's a little bit easier, in my opinion, to make those Twitch friends, and you can talk to people that will actually come to your stream, which is really, really big. Also, if you're interested in gaining more people that come over, go raid somebody. Always raid somebody that's either playing what you're playing or that's in the same level as affiliate as you or a little bit higher, not really big ones, because a lot of people are extremely supportive and they'll say, hey, thanks for the raid, like everybody should go check this person out, and they'll ask you about your games and they'll ask you about your stream, and it's very rare that you can talk in someone else's stream about your stream unless they ask. So if you're doing those things, if you're raiding, if you're communicating with other people, if you're just genuinely having fun gaming with people on Twitch, then eventually someone will come and be like, oh, hey, I forgot that you streamed, or oh, yeah, you're playing this game. Like, can I play too? And you'll have that ease of conversation. You'll have people to talk to in your chat, and eventually you can be like, you know what? You know about this person. You've seen like how their stream runs. Do you want to be my mod? You know, that'll help you out a little bit more.
I wanted you
I
to
don't
go
think
away.
you've ever
I'd ban
said
you.
that. I mean, it's also good to have people come in your stream and troll. If you have friends that want to come troll, it's fun. It keeps your stream going. It's fun to talk to them. Like you should definitely have friends that do that. I mean, we one of our friend streamers had a friend that was just blowing up their chat with all kinds of silly stuff the other day, and that streamer was enjoying talking to their friends. So it's even stuff like that. I mean, some people even have their family come in. If you like your family, have your family support you. Have your family come in and do things for you, like your mom or your sister or your cousin, and say, hey, like, can you come hang out with me so I can talk to somebody? You know, even in Discord or game chat, like that's really, really a good place to start. Like, hey, I'm doing a stream. Will you like come check it out? I don't have anybody in my channel.
Well,
You know,
and that kind of goes back to if you're not affiliated yet too, right? Like ask your friends and family to come hang out in your stream.
definitely.
If you don't have, if you don't have anybody that you play with that is also streaming or anything like that, like
Well, and like definitely keep in mind Twitch etiquette, the unspoken, common Twitch etiquette of like if you are in a Discord with other people and you are streaming, ask other people if they are streaming first. Hey, is anybody streaming in here? No, you're not. Okay, let me tell you, I'm streaming. Like, if anybody wants to come stop by, cool. If there's someone else streaming in your Discord chat, you need to be respectful of that. Like, hey, if that person says, hey, I'm streaming, say, oh, let me check you out. Like, I'm going to come give you a follow. And that's huge. I also try to tell everybody whenever I was streaming, follow everybody in chat. But I would go personally, if I hadn't seen somebody and they're new in my chat, I would go click on their profile and I would follow them. And then I would know when they were live, and then I could see like what they were doing, and that would help them out. Follows are free. Like go follow a bunch of people like in those streamers channels that you're watching, and those people will be like, oh, I just got a follow from somebody interesting, I wonder what that is, and they go check you out. Like, it's nice to be subtle about that stuff. Like, don't go in there and be like, I need this, it doesn't look very good, and nobody was going to follow you in that manner.
I get not wanting your family near Twitch, and that's understandable and fine, but you do have friends that are on Twitch or around or whatever that you don't care as much if they're in there, right? Like Get
Well, that's why I said if you're okay with your family
Yeah.
being a part of your
Right.
streaming life. If you're not, don't fucking tell them. Make up some name that they're never gonna guess. Like, that's totally okay too.
I think so. The follows are free type thing. I think also kind of circles back a little bit to, again, the unaffiliated streamer. On that path to get affiliated. Um, you know, you see a lot. Actually, not as much anymore, but you still see it occasionally. The follow for follow type thing, right? Like, um, the one thing that I will say about that, and I don't know if everybody agrees with me or not, but if you have 50 followers already, which is the minimum that you have to get affiliated, follow for follow communities, following, asking people to follow for follow, it doesn't do you any good. You know, all you're doing is inflating numbers for no reason. The those follow numbers mean nothing. Um, People come into your channel if they have to scroll down below your video to actually see how many followers you have in the first place. It used to be more prominent on Twitch. It's not anymore. You can't see, who they follow anymore. None of like those. It's harder to see those because those numbers aren't important. How many followers you have does not matter. It's the community around your chat. How many people come in and talk with you? But like I said, follow for follow communities do have a place. If you can't make friends, if you don't have 50 people that you've met on Twitch or whatever to come and follow you, the follow for follow communities can help you get to the 50 followers to help you get to affiliate, but it's not going to help you with the viewers. You're still going to have that three viewer average, that three average viewer minimum to get affiliated, and doing a follow for follow is not going to help you. It is an inflated number. It's just like view botting, right? Like it's kind of the same.
I mean, kind of.
Well,
I feel
so
like
it's kind of the same
so
because
I think if you're gonna be in a follow for follow community, it's not going to help you at all. If you can take the time to say follow for follow in someone's channel, you can take the time instead to say, hi, how are you? And that is way more important and will hold your community or build your community or have that viewer. Like, even if somebody does follow you from that, they're going to unfollow you.
Yeah,
There's not going to be a time that somebody's going to follow someone on follow for follow that hasn't been affiliated, that doesn't stream very often or streams too much and gets burnt out, that's going to come to your stream and stick around.
Well, yes.
Have you clicked on anybody that's ever said follow for follow unless you were going to see how long they've been on Twitch?
No, but that's what I'm saying is, right, if you're trying to get to that 50 followers, it can help you get there, but that is the only advantage it's going to give you.
I mean, I think that's a steep hill. I think that you would take a very long time to get to 50 if that's how you were doing it. It's again, like, people will follow and then, oh yeah, sure, buddy, I'll follow you. And then they're like, who is this? I'm unfollowing them immediately. There's not very many people that will keep those follower lists very long. To be clear, I will not.
So the what I was saying about Bbots, I feel that they have I feel that they have a very similar outcome, right? Like a Bbot puts a viewer in your channel, but it doesn't grow your community. You have an inflated viewer, like an inflated viewer number that means nothing. Might other people find you? Maybe, but if you don't have the content and the interaction and all of that, you may have 50 view bots or 100 view bots or whatever it is. People are going to come in and try to talk to you, and they're not going to get a response, or you're just plain boring. They're going to leave, right? Like, they're not going to stay.
I also think with the view botting, even if people come in because of your numbers, they're going to say, you're view botting. They're going to see that you're view botting.
Right.
They're going to see nobody speaking in the chat. Like, especially with those bigger inflated numbers, they're going to be like, I'm reporting you. You're view botting. They're going to report it before they follow.
Right.
Like, that is not going to help you. It's going to hinder you. Like, doing it in that instance of like instant gratification, it's not going to work out. Like,
Oh, you're fine,
oh,
Rug.
make the baby happy.
Go make the baby happy.
Make the baby happy. Snuggles it. Feed it. Give it the loves. Fix its teethies.
You can always watch the VOD.
Always watch the VOD.
That's another thing too. Is
we love you.
If you're not watching your own VOD, you should.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's fucking annoying to watch your own VOD. It's fucking annoying. I say that because I, like everyone else, does not like their own voice. There's a scientific reason behind that. You're not going to like listening to your own voice. Eventually you'll get used to it, but we don't hear our own voices inside our head like everybody hears our voices. So that part is definitely pretty irritating, and probably you can crank down your VOD a little bit, but definitely always watch your VODs and see like your interaction, see where your camera is, see how your stream looks, like see if there was anything that happened that you didn't know. Like if you miss somebody saying something, like you can go and message them later and be like, oh my gosh, I saw that you came in, I'm so sorry I missed you, like I didn't realize I was talking about something ridiculous and I wasn't paying attention. There are so many things that you can help yourself by watching your VODs. I completely agree with that.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about it.
No, I agree with all of that. Like it is rough sometimes. It is, yeah, it sometimes it can be very painstaking. Like, you know, it can, like, just, obviously you don't necessarily have to watch, well, first of all
6 hours.
you don't have to watch all 6 hours,
whatever.
but now when you watch VODs on Twitch, you can actually change the speed of the VOD. So you can watch it faster. So like you can watch a 6-hour VOD in 2.5 hours or whatever the you're allowed to speed it up for. So
you can also get highlights out of your VOD.
You can.
Like, oh, that looked really cool. I definitely want to highlight that. Like put that on your Twitch. They make that accessible for you now.
Yeah, you can freeform upload on Twitch. A lot of people don't know that. You can just like YouTube, you can compose a video in Premiere and After Effects and go add soundtracks and nice clips and whatever, and then you can upload those to Twitch. A lot of people don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that.
Well, again, I don't understand why Twitch doesn't have a 24-hour support, either having people talk, like highlighting streamers that talk about Twitch stuff like this. Like, yes, you have the front page, but you need a support page. You need somebody consistently like talking about those types of things, because they roll them out and they send you a fucking email about it. And you're like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is. Nobody told me how to do this. Like, you have to go to a forum to figure it out. You have to email Twitch. Like, it's really, really not accessible at all. Like, it does not help people walk them through, like, hey, you should do this. These are the cool things. And if you're an iPhone person, you're not going to look at any of that. If you're an Android person, you may, because it's very customizable. But there's so many, like, what is it called? The interface, the user-friendly interface. There's so many detailed things, like with like Frankers, it's very specific. With better BTTV, very specific. Like you can go in and customize everything, which is great for people that like to do that. But there's a lot of people that have iPhones. There's a lot of people that want the very simple buttons that walk you through. Some of the things are like that now. Like I think what you just showed, it's a little bit more simplified. It's not hidden. They popped up more things where it was like, oh, this is where this is. Okay. But a lot of other stuff with Twitch is very like too detailed. Like it's as if you have to know how to code to figure that stuff out, and that's not fair for people that are using Twitch. If it's a deterrent, cool, but they're really handing out those affiliates a lot quicker. And if you want to make something of yourself by utilizing Twitch, which you shouldn't just be a streamer on Twitch. You should utilize the platform because they give you the opportunity to make money because they're making money off of you, and you should utilize that to the best of your ability and make money as well. That's huge because they're not going to support you like you support them.
Right.
Like they're slowly crawling because they have a very small staff, but they're definitely taking in way more money from people than putting out like, let me help you make more money with Twitch. No, that is not happening. So utilize the tools that they have out there for you and ask questions too.
Speaking of tools that they have for you for your channel, right? Channel points is a relatively new one, and it's a great way to encourage interaction between your community and your stream. It's go think of some things that that people can redeem points for to get attention. I've seen B&D is a good example of that. Is like he's got a redemption where he'll put a mask on. Rug also has where if you redeem 100,000 points, Rug will wear a full Cookie Monster outfit for his entire day that he's streaming one day. So again, in your Twitch dashboard, that's where this exists under viewer rewards, and they reorganized this. They put all these together. Under the viewer rewards, you have your channel points, which is the first thing you should absolutely set up, even if it's something simple. They've got predefined ones like remember to hydrate, stuff like that, right? Like let's
Excuse me? How many is that? I have those in your channel, Dub. I'm cool with that. I'll sleep in the same bed.
So one that I have, right, is I have for 10 points or 10 channel points is you can suggest a reward to me. So like, I'm allowing you to give me feedback right through their system. It requires you to have a few points. You don't have to have many, which means anybody can come in as long as they follow the channel. They have enough points to do this, right? Like,
right
now, what usually ends up happening is a lot of people try to troll it, and if you're actually trying to troll me, I just mark it as completed and I move on, and you've just lost those 10 points. Right, like
and you got trolled right back.
Right, it does. But like if it is an actual suggestion, and I go, I don't really care for that. I don't think I'm going to do that, or limitations or whatever the case may be. I'm going to reject that request, and I'm going to give you those 10 points back.
Yeah.
I've got other ones like the hyper command. It also set them to achievable goals. Like I have one on here that is meant to not be achievable, right? I have become a mod for 1,000,000 points. If I'm streaming to a point where somebody actually has 1,000,000 points, I'm probably going to raise that because I'm not going to give you mod just because you have enough points to do so. Or although if you have that many points, more than likely you're probably modding my channel anyway because you're here all the time. Right? Like,
I mean, also think about stuff like the things that you should be reminding yourself, which you can put in your bots: hydrating, standing up and stretching, taking. That was one that I saw in Hillary's stream.
Sorry, you cut out. You cut out. Taking what?
Taking deep breaths.
Okay.
it was like, hey, here's a reminder, like, take a deep breath, remember that you're loved. It was really, really sweet, and it was a good reminder to put with your bot, but you could put that as a channel redemption as well. Like, you could have somebody say, like, hey, don't forget to hydrate, hey, don't forget to stand up and stretch, hey, don't forget, people care about you. Those are all really great, and they can be 10 or talk politics. What? No, thank you. Don't get Dar started on politics.
I don't talk politics on stream.
But again, I will recommend, if you don't have ideas like that, yes, put that in as like, share an idea with me or whatever, but go look at everybody else's things. It's okay to take those ideas. That's okay. That's good. Like, that's a great idea. I want to do that in my channel. Definitely put on there. Don't steal people's emotes. That's not a good idea.
I,
you can be flexible with the badges. Those are a little bit different. Don't be ridiculous like that. If that's somebody's like whole theme, don't take their shit. But with things like ideas for the channel points, that's really important. Obviously, don't copy and paste, because you know you might you might say something that you don't want to do.
right. Well, like the send me a t-shirt and send me a hat that I have as a channel reward, right? Like I Rev actually was the first one that I saw that had that. So I was like, that's a fantastic idea. Like, if somebody like Dub just redeemed it the other day. If somebody has 150,000 points in my channel and they say I want a t-shirt, and like, I look at it this way, like, the whole bottom section here that I have is, clearly they're people who support my channel.
They're supporting you.
Yeah, so
Yep.
they're
With their
25,000,
time.
50,000, and 100,000, and then 150,000 for hats and a shirt, right? Like, if you come to my channel enough and you have 25,000 points, but you can't afford to sub, that's why I have this here, because
Right.
it's fine. Like, I will gladly gift you a sub if you want a sub and you want to be able to use the emotes, and because you're here. You're watching the stream, you're chatting in the stream to earn the bonuses and all of that. So I will gladly gift you that sub. Same thing for a tier 2 or a tier 3. If you earn those points and you want those tiers, I would gladly give them to those people. First of all, I technically get it for half price, because the only thing I have to do now is I have to pay Twitch's side of it. I get the other half of the money back.
Right.
So it only costs me half, and I get to thank you for supporting me by hanging out and chatting and playing games or whatever the case may be. Make the other stuff, the fun stuff, make it stuff that people can easily earn, like the visit from Rocky. That's 1,000 points. Like, almost every time Regilio's in my chat, Regilio redeems that to bring the dog up. Like, it's and Hyper, he does that one too, right? Like, the one
Surprise.
the one that
And Pat Rock.
the one that people have really been using, right, is when I'm playing Siege and I say, okay, I'm done, this is my last match. I've got it. I've got a one more match redemption that I've got it set up where, and I'll go into this to kind of show you guys this too, right? Like, I have it on cooldown for 5 minutes. So when somebody redeems it, another person can't redeem it for another 5 minutes, which I could probably change that, maybe 20 minutes or something, right?
I mean, people have definitely been using it, which is also a compliment. They want to see you keep streaming. They want to see you keep playing. Like, that's a great way to also boost yourself. When you're like, oh man, I've been streaming for 3 hours, nobody's talking, or I don't know if I want to do this more, and people are like, let's go, like, get it done. Like, I want to play.
Like, so I also have a limit on it, right? Like, it's limit of 5 redemptions per stream. So, like, even, okay, I say, at 8 o'clock, I say, this is my last match, and then, somebody redeems it or whatever. I have a maximum of 5 people that can redeem that, because I also limit it to 1 per person. So I can't have 1 person troll me and say, I want you to play 5 more matches. It takes 5 people for me to actually play 5 more matches, right? Like,
right.
So it's, it's things like that it's encouraging interaction. It's encouraging people to hang out, because it does cost channel points, those things. Also, if you get people who come in all the time and say, can I play with you? right? My first requirement for anybody who comes in, I usually don't require them to do this redemption, right? If I got a spot open, my one requirement definitely is you must follow the channel. If you
Yeah.
don't follow me, I- like I don't want to sound like a snob or anything like that, but you're here to play with me, so I'm going to take it as you want to be part of this community. So the first part of the community is follow the channel, right? But
Right. Well, and like you definitely want to make sure that someone's serious about being in your channel and not doing it for themselves
right,
to say whatever they felt like when they come play with you. I mean, obviously, you don't put them in the Discord right away either. So,
right, and if I do, like, because sometimes I will, it just depends on the game and my feelings that day. But I always preface it with, if you won't say it to your, like, if it's something you wouldn't say to your mother, don't say it in here.
I'd say worse things to my mother than I'd say
Well,
to you guys.
but it's a pretty good bar,
Yes.
right? Like morally, if it's something you would not say to your mother's face, don't say it in this chat. Now, by far, we have people that were that are friends in here say things that we probably wouldn't say to our mothers. But there's a difference, right? Like, we've built a friendship and we know each other at that point. As a new person
Right.
coming in, that is the rule. Don't do those things.
Yep.
Um, the other thing with interaction with your chat, depending on the games you play, and a lot of them support it, right under viewer rewards. Make sure you come in here and just turn on enable drops. Like, it's a very simple checkbox. That's all you have to do is check that box. And games, like, it also shows you what campaigns are open, what games will be like have drops going on for this week. So you can come in here and see what games I play. Like, I don't play this, but like Rust, for example, February today, or yeah, February 4th through the 11th. They have drops enabled, so I see this and then I could go, okay, I do play Rust, so I'm going to play it during this week because there's drops enabled, right? So
Right.
you may gain viewership because now you're streaming a game that has drops, because a lot of people, like, Siege this week and last week or whatever, like, they had drops, and like the category itself was higher up there because drops were enabled, because people want that free content. So it's a
Yep.
great way to help you get recognized, because it does identify that you have drops enabled. If if you're streaming Rust but you don't have drops enabled, but somebody else is streaming Rust who maybe has similar
They're
content,
gonna go over there.
they're going to go over there, right?
Yep.
And then finally is and Twitch just recently, within the last couple weeks, updated this. Um, this is now where you go to modify all of your emotes. Your tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 emotes. But now you also get your bit tier emotes in here as well, which these used to be super hard to find. It was a pain in the ass to figure out where you go to upload them, because you had to go into where your bit badges were. It was in there is where you set the emotes for those. You might be able to still do it there. I don't know. But now you can come here in one place and say, okay, here are my tier 1 emotes. Here's my tier 2, my tier 3. And then these are the bit emotes that I've unlocked, so I can upload these right here as well.
You finally have somebody organizing it.
You want to hear about why you should follow me personally? You already do.
Kappa? That's hilarious. I want to hear about why I should follow you personally. You should follow someone based on if you enjoy their content, their personality, and if you find yourself watching for longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I so with Siege this past week, this week was they have drops, but it's only a select set of streamers that have drops. And I was watching some big streamer that, she had like 10,000 viewers or something. Like, you know, it was the first one I saw that had drops, and she was live for like 2 hours that I watched her or whatever. And then she rated somebody else that she played with occasionally, who was who is on her path for partnership, and she I think she was probably averaging, like 50, 60 viewers or whatever before this drop stuff was enabled. But she plays Siege a lot, and she plays with a lot of the big YouTube Siege players and content creators and such. So she also had drops enabled. So this this big streamer who had 10,000 viewers rated her, and I watched her stream for like 10, 15 minutes, and I was like, she's got good content. I like it. I didn't follow the first one I was watching. I was only there for the drops. But this one,
Right.
the content was good. She, yes, a smaller streamer, but got rated by a larger streamer, which is how I found her. And I enjoyed the content, and so I followed her. And
Yeah.
so again, drops, turn them on.
Turn them on. Well, and I've seen people show up in the stream and say, you know what, I was just looking for drops, but I actually stayed and I liked what you were doing, and I'm glad that you had your drops on, or I wouldn't have found you. That's huge. Do the maximum you can to be a wholesome content creator, but also like utilize Twitch's tools. Like I was saying, like utilize the things they give you to be your own marketing. Like that's really difficult. And a lot of people too are talking about they don't like the way Twitch is doing stuff, or it happens a lot. We go through the cycles of like, oh, Twitch is trying to fuck us over. And I'm gonna go to YouTube, but YouTube is definitely harder. Like you're you're streaming yourself. You have to be some sort of marketing person because you're marketing yourself. You have to like know things about yourself. You have to talk about yourself. Like you have to know your audience. Like you have to give something out. And if you're not doing that and you're not utilizing Twitch's tools to do that for you, you're not going to get anywhere very quickly. And you're definitely not going to be able to be on YouTube because that's even more of marketing yourself.
If you don't
YouTube
have
does not support you in any way if you are not marketing yourself. It's not going to happen.
if you don't have the time to put into creating content that follows, and actually taking a step back from that, if you don't have the time to put in to figure out how YouTube's algorithms work and how to
That's even harder.
get people to find your content and to put out content that people want to watch and that people come back to watch. Even some of the big YouTube channels that I watch, not even live channels, but like ones that put out content, every couple days or whatever, they say in their videos, 40% of the people viewing this video are not subscribed, to the channel.
Yeah.
Or higher. Like 40% of the people, like they've got the algorithm down because the video is coming up in their suggested feeds. But those people, but 40, 50, 60% of those people still aren't subscribed to the channel. In order to get that for lack of better term, the partnership with YouTube, where you get that, that join button where you can make money on YouTube, you have to have a minimum, I believe, I don't know the exact numbers, but a minimum of 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
10,000 for a specific amount of time.
Yeah. So
for like a year.
So if you're watching, like I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here, kind of, but if you're watching a YouTuber who's telling you to close your Twitch channel that you're already affiliated on or partnered or whatever, and go over to YouTube because they're now making money on YouTube, and they're making so much more money on YouTube than they did on Twitch, and they get a larger percentage. Look at how many subscribers they have. They're already at 10,000 plus. You have how many? You may have zero, right? Like, because maybe you don't have YouTube at all.
YouTube is a full-time job. Like Twitch, you can get paid doing half-ass work as long as you are creating something that somebody wants to stick around and watch live. You are good to go. You will get there. YouTube is, you have to be so on point. It's not even funny. Like it is a full-time job, especially editing. Like I don't know enough about live YouTube mainly, but it's still like you have to be an established character in that platform. I mean, and speaking of platforms, like you definitely want to cover your bases on platforms. Like it's good to expand out and it's good to be in different places when you're allowed to be, like follow the rules and go and do other platforms within the time periods. Do it. Utilize all of those as much as you want, but pay attention to each platform's algorithm. Pay attention to each platform's requirements. Like utilize the tools that are given to you. Don't sit there and just be like, oh, well, I'm going to stream on all of them and see what happens. Like that's not very good marketing, and you'll burn yourself out again. You decided to delete your Twitch? Great. Fantastic.
Our
Do not
plan
delete
worked.
your I mean, generally speaking, too, like, even if you don't want to stream and you're on Twitch consistently, I didn't want to stream. And I was on Twitch so much that people were following me. It was a joke, like, half the time. People would ask me if I stream and then they would go follow me. But you can get affiliated that way too, and then you may start streaming. And don't feel obligated to stream either. If you don't feel comfortable streaming, especially if you've already got an affiliate, like don't do it. You don't have to.
I
You
had
can
over
stream whenever the hell you want.
I had over 50 followers before the first time I streamed.
I know.
I know you know. I told you I had over 50 followers, and you're like, why haven't you streamed? Go get affiliated. Unlock
And
your
now look
emotes.
at you. You're a professional. Unlock your emotes. That's the biggest thing. It's so cool. Like even if you don't stream that much, it's really fun to like have your own emotes and be interactive on Twitch. That's big, you know? And then eventually you might want to stream something. And if you do stream something and people show up, cool. If they don't show up, cool. If you don't go back to streaming, that's fine too. Like it's not for everybody. But if you have that time frame where you do want to do it, you can save those videos, you can go back to them. That's another really cool thing. Like you can save your VODs and go back and be like, oh, I remember when I played this game. Or if you want to like run through a game and you can go back and be like, oh, I remember doing that. That was a really fun time. It's a good way to collect memories too.
Well, yeah, I mean, unlocking emotes is, can be a huge thing too, because, maybe you don't have income to sub to anyone. But but you want to, participate in chat and hype up chat or whatever. So if you get affiliated and unlock your own emotes, now you can, right? Because
Yeah.
you have them. You have all of them. At the very minimum, you have 3 emotes.
Yeah. And I want to expand on that because I think one of the saddest things on Twitch is people complaining that other people are using other people's emotes in their chat. It shows that streamer has no confidence in their own emotes. It shows that they don't want to grow, and they don't have respect for other people's enjoyment of using those things. Like with the whole PogChamp thing, I love that they're changing that emote every day. It's huge, but so many people are fucking complaining that it's disgusting. Like, oh, I don't want to see other people's faces, streamers in my chat. Like that takes away from me. That is terrible. Like that is the worst thing I've ever seen. You should be able to use your emotes. You should feel confident using your emotes, especially if they're funny or someone drew them really amazing. I love when people use other people's emotes and the streamer goes, oh my God, that's such a cute emote. Like, whose is that? I want to go follow them. Even if it's for the emotes, like you just helped someone else like gain more following without it being like, hey, can you follow my friend? Like, and of course, don't go in and spam somebody's emotes. Like that's ridiculous. Like it's the same as follow for follow. Don't do that. Like don't get obnoxious with it. Like don't fill the entire chat with just that other person's emotes, to advertise them. But I get really upset about that, obviously. It makes me frustrated when especially smaller, like growing affiliates are so excited about their emotes and somebody's like, why would you put your emote in my chat? How dare you? You're promoting yourself. That's not okay at all. Like, be happy.
I can tell you right now, if
That's super cool. Like, thank you for showing me that. Like, that makes me feel really good. I love that. Or, hey, you should get this on it. Or, I can't see that. Or, give that person feedback. Those are huge.
if I went into anyone's stream and put, because I use my metal emote all the time. It's my hand like this. I use that one all the time. If anyone ever told me to not put my emote in their chat, I would never go back there again.
Right. Well, and like obviously there's different emotes that say things or like read the room. If the person doesn't like butts in their chat, don't put a booty emote. That kind of thing. Don't put your emote that says Darth. Because your name says that. Don't be obnoxious about that stuff. But I really think it's, especially now when you can hover over the emotes and see who owns it. I really don't like when people are like, that's somebody else's emote. Why aren't you using mine?
So,
well, because I like their emotes and I subscribed to them. I thought it was worth it. I spent my money paying for those emotes. Basically, I should use them wherever I want because I like them so much that it was worth it for me to spend that money for the month. Like, you're not really paying for anything else other than supporting the streamer. You're only getting those emotes back.
and let's be honest, like that's what Twitch was built, the Twitch community was built on, right? Like if the community of Twitch was like, no, emotes should only be in the person's chat that where you got them from, that's how the platform would work. But that's not how it is.
And they wouldn't have global emotes.
Like also, like, think about your emotes. Maybe at first, get something.
Oh yeah, I could go on an entire conversation on that. Go ahead.
So think about them. Use ones. Look at what other people use. Like, what are the common ones? Even like global ones, like spins. A spin on the global common ones, right? Like
because you're allowed to.
The kappa, right? Like I have no kappa, right? Like that one there is a very common,
And I have Fappa.
Right. So like,
which is better than kappa.
Find something that is similar to the global emotes, or love is a very common one. Almost every channel has some type of love emote or hype emote of some type, right? Like, and then on top of that, there are services out there that you put in your channel, it will go and look at your emotes and tell you how often your emotes are used.
Yeah.
It might be, it's not even just, some of them aren't even just your channel. It's like globally, like how often do people use your emotes? If you've got 5 emotes, or 7 if you have all of them unlocked, and then your bit tier stuff as well, or whatever, but you can see how often people use your emotes. If they're not being used, rotate them out. Like,
yep.
Especially now, because it doesn't require, like, at least from, I don't know if it's everybody now, but it doesn't require that that approval process for most people anymore. So you can easily change out your emotes. If nobody is using my love emote, I mean, I've done it multiple times. Like, my bit tier ones used to be my tier 1 emotes, to some extent. The rage one, the Rocky Jewel, the what, the lol, those were all tier 1 emotes, but they weren't being used. So
right.
I came up with other ones and kind of moved them around and shifted things around for that.
Right. So when it comes to emotes, it's fun to have something that you can use, obviously, in other people's chats that you really appreciate. Like Rocky, you love Rocky. Like, it's cute. People like that. It's your dog. You want to put him out there. But like you said, if you're not looking at what people want to use, no one is going to buy your emotes. And that's what a sub is. It's buying your emotes. And I have been subscribed to multiple giant streamers that I don't watch purely because their emotes were so fucking amazing and I wanted to use them all over Twitch. And exactly. And other people have subscribed me to people that had amazing emotes. So yes, it's nice to have something personal about you, but if you get super detailed about it, they're tiny, they don't have any meaning to anybody else, no one is going to want to use them and no one's going to pay to use them. That's how it is. If you're cool with that, awesome. Or if you're cool with that, put them in your bit emote slot. Like, that's an amazing tool that you can use now. But don't don't create emotes that people aren't going to use. Think about like the importance of using stuff like love or funny ass emotes like that, where they mean something to multiple people, that people are like, oh my god, where'd you get that emote? Like, I want that. I don't care who you are or where that came from, I need that emote. Whatever it is, I want it right now. If it's relevant, like you did the coronavirus one, if it's relevant, use it. And
Right.
if people like it, keep it. If it's no longer relevant, get rid of it. Think of something new. Always refresh your stuff. Keep yourself changing, like growing, learning. Like, don't hang on to emotes that are washed out.
Right.
Like, don't hang on to emotes that don't make any sense to anybody at all. Don't hang on to emotes that are poorly done. If you just are starting out and you have emotes that got drawn by you and you aren't very good at drawing, but now you're getting better, find somebody who knows art a little bit better, or figure out a picture that you like, that kind of thing. Make it accessible to people, understandable to people. Don't have people squinting in chat being like, what is that? What is that emote? I can't even read that. I can't see what's happening there. Like, upgrade them.
Yep. I've had multiple emotes over time, like probably 15, maybe 20 total, something like around there.
And take feedback. Ask about feedback. A lot of people don't say anything about people's emotes and they don't get told, like, hey, I can't read that. That looks weird. Or ask, like, when you're on stream, hey, I just got these new emotes. Does anybody think there's anything weird with them? Can you read them? Like, do you think I should do anything different? Like, get the feedback that you need, because if you have emotes that people aren't using, you're not going to get paid for those emotes. And that's the point. If you like them, cool. If you don't want to get subscribes, that's cool. That's totally okay. But this is advice about growing your stream.
I'm gonna take a quick bio break and run because we've been live for an hour and a half, and I'm gonna run a 60-second ad break.
Speaking of ads.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Deb just got killed with a breach charge. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound like you're going to be happy about it. Don't do that. Please don't die. Who are you playing with, Debs? Debs. Are the games good? Thanks for hanging out with us. And also, you said I don't stream, but I mean, I'm basically streaming right now. Just using Darth's platform. Makes it easier for me. I don't have to push buttons or anything like that. Oh, good. Is it a good squad? Who's getting all the kills? Deb got killed with a breach charge, but I don't know what that means, so.
It means he was standing somewhere he shouldn't have been standing.
Oh, God.
Segue a little bit. I do want to show.
Segway.
Yeah.
Did you know that the owner of Segway died on a Segway?
Did he really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Is that in your book?
No. No, I've known that fact for a long time. I don't know if it was specifically the owner at the time, but he was the creator of Segway, and he died on a Segway. I don't know if it malfunctioned or what, but he fell off a cliff apparently. I have not fact checked that, but
So,
that's the creator of Segway.
Streamlabs OBS has a neat little feature that you can trigger off of like subs and bits and things like that, where it will put some type of like a Snapchat filter on your camera for you. OBS does not have that, but what I did find today is a neat little. I'm going to switch cameras here real quick. I'm going to turn this off and then turn this back on. So this is actually a different camera now, and this one here. So I had it's called Snap Camera. I'm going to put the link in chat for it. It's a Windows application that allows you to basically apply Snapchat filters as you see fit to your camera and display it on stream normally. It creates a virtual camera, and just I'm also gonna. I don't know if Spark's still in here, but I'm also gonna have fun with this at work on some calls in the coming future. So, you know, you can do many different. This one might be a little creepy, but
Oh my God, you're so disturbing. Let me go ahead and go back to the owner. It was the owner of Segway. He had just bought, it was a British businessman who just bought the Segway company a year before, died after riding one of the scooters off of a cliff and into a river near his home. So he had just purchased Segway and
I just got out of the shower. I'm drying my hair.
what? Oh no. Let's keep the chat classy. Listen, I told him which one to wear. He just thought this was the funnest thing ever. So
like this is
let the old man have his fun. Oh my God.
This is another thing that you could put as a chat redemption, right? Like, make me turn on a random filter or something like that. Like, I don't know if you can automate it yet or anything like that, but it's more chat interaction.
One thing that I have seen that I absolutely love, and this is in a couple of streams, when there are things that happen in your stream like bits or subs, there are streamers that stop what they're doing and they celebrate it. No matter how small or big they are, they celebrate it. They do music, they do dancing, and I've seen somebody use the Snapchat filter. So what they do is they've got this like rave thing going on, and it puts the Snapchat filter on their face like randomly, and they use that one to dance with, which is fucking hilarious. People like it. People enjoy it. It's interactive. It's hyping up somebody that supported them, which is huge. And oh my God, these are terrifying. How many points to turn filters off or change the filter? Yep, that's a great one too. That's so creepy. You look like a totally different person. Oh my God. A bear with a beard. Oh my God. But there's one particular streamer that does it consistently, and I still love it. Like, it's literally an entire stream of them dancing because so many people are so interested in that person dancing, and it's fun. It's super fun. It's fantastic. It's good. I think a lot of streamers lack that. I think a lot of streamers get, oh, well, I'm streaming because I'm a really good gamer and I'm focused on the game, and I'm not going to say hi to the chat yet because I'm focused on the game, and I'm not going to say thank you for the follow or the support or whatever. And it really makes people enjoy being in your stream if you're hyping that shit up and dancing and fucking around. Like, just do it. Obviously, the one person that's here is not enjoying your Snapchat filter, so oh my God, what are you? What is that?
I don't know.
I'm frightened. It's like Crybaby, but Is that the new emo? What do they call them?
Oh, wrong one.
The
What did I
whatchamacallit
just turn off?
girls? Oh no.
What just
What's
happened?
happening? I'm terrified. There's two of you. I'm gonna vomit. Oh, you turned me off.
Yeah, but it's not.
I feel unsafe. I'm leaving. Your Snapchat filters broke it.
Oh, I see what I did. Hold on. No? Shit, I broke it. There we go. I fixed it. Fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, wrong. Oh, I thought I turned this one off. Hold on. There we go.
I can't remember what that one's called. The e-girl thing. What's it called? I don't remember. Where they put like blush on their nose and. Anyways, that's what you were using. I can't have a conversation with him when he's in the Snapchat mode.
No, I'm closing it. I just wanted to show it. It, like I said, it's just a fun thing that I found that Streamlabs OBS kind of has out of the box. Some people, like want to use OBS, but they don't have that functionality. This would give them that functionality in OBS.
Play with your bots. Figure out the things that your stuff does. Google it. Look it up. Ask support. Whatever you need. Like, figure it out. Use the tools that you have.
Join Discord communities that have other people who stream because they can help you too.
Yep. Yeah, and look for and please have Discord etiquette too. That's another huge thing. Like, don't just come in and talk in general. Look at the rules. Look at the different channels, like where you would ask questions, like streamer tips. Like, don't just put it in general. Hey, I'm new here. I need to know how to do this. Like, come on. Hi, son. Hello.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Excuse me.
Not loud.
Sorry. Teach me how to get 10K viewers and earn 100,000 a month right now.
Follow for follow. Follow for follows and view bots.
Or leave an unsub. We already went over that the first hour, so you missed it.
You did. Specifically covered that topic, actually.
Totally covered it.
Another one I have written down that I want to talk about is I see a lot of people either asking or doing wanting to stream on multiple platforms at the same time, right? Like, or just multiple platforms in general, right? Like, I'm streaming. I want to stream on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. And there's
I talked about that earlier.
And there's actual services that provide that, right? Like there's Restream.io, the Streamlabs Prime offers multi-streaming. The first part I'll say to that is if you are an affiliate or a partner or whatever on any of those platforms, you cannot stream on another platform at the same time. You are in violation of your agreement with them. So like we have this stream going right now, right here on Twitch. I cannot be streaming this on YouTube or on Facebook at the same time. But what I can do is when this video, like when we're done with this stream, I can take this video and I can upload it to YouTube if I want to. Like that is perfectly allowed. But you cannot, based on your contract that you sign with Twitch or YouTube, you cannot stream on multiple platforms at the same time. If you're affiliated or have a partnership or whatever. If you are not an affiliate, you can by all means stream across multiple platforms at the exact same time, and you're perfectly fine with that. I used to see a lot of people doing it on Mixer and Twitch. Like there was tons of people who were on Twitch and Mixer at the same time, and technically they were violating their Twitch contract. Now, does Twitch or the other platform enforce those rules? Maybe not. But you also have to look at it as, is this something I want to risk, right? Like, if you make some money off Twitch, do you want to risk not being able to make that money on Twitch just so you can also stream that content on YouTube? If you want to focus on YouTube content, go focus on YouTube content. Another one, again, it comes down to marketing, right? Like, you are marketing yourself. You are the product. You are the entertainer. It's not the video game. Majority of people do not come to watch you play video games. They come to you to watch you entertain. Well, now, however that may be, like, you may be playing video games while you're entertaining, but it's you that they're there for. If you don't have a mic or a camera, you can, yes, you can still be entertaining, but more than likely, especially if you don't have a microphone, you probably have no viewers. Guaranteed.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of people on Twitch that are playing games that aren't necessarily something people want to watch, but they're entertaining, and they're going to come there because there's a community and they're entertained. There's very rarely professional gamers that hold those viewerships and keep them for a long time and are worth watching. It's not common. Everybody preach it. You really are marketing yourself. That's the most important thing.
That was a great example. I just shouted out B&D, and his profile icon for his Twitch is him, right? Like, and if I shout myself out, it's probably not going to do it because it's on cooldown. But my profile icon is the thing that's behind me right here, right? Like, it's you are your marketing department. Nobody else is going to do it for you.
I'm going to say, like, in accordance with that, like, get on different platforms like Twitter, on Discord, whatever. Get on those places and make your post worthwhile, make them worth reading, make them easily accessible. Put the link in the post, like, say, this is my schedule, say, come check me out, say, I'm doing this, say, like, find fun little GIFs, find fun little pictures, or even make little videos of yourself. Like, utilize that to market yourself, because if you're making the same fucking post over and over again, with no exciting link, no exciting picture, nothing like eye-catching, you're not doing any marketing. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to pay attention to it. So make it like somebody scrolling Twitter, they're going to stop and go, oh, what is that? That looks fun. Or that looks hilarious. What are they doing? Do not put in your post, which I've been seeing regularly, link in bio, or I'm going to stream and not have a link to your Twitch. Don't do that. Because nobody's going to click on your profile to come look at you.
Is that a good thing? Yes. That's what I was saying, is like, your profile picture is you. You are promoting yourself in that photo, right?
Yeah. Or your brand, like whatever your brand name is, or whatever your symbol is, or your theme, or anything like that. That's what you want to put there. For sure, you want to be clear. Or even like your favorite emote. Some people do that, and then people are like, "What is that? Looks amazing!" Like, I want to see. Oh, what is that?
Like the link in bio thing, right?
Interest people.
Like, I'll tell you where that works. Somebody who is already partnered, who already has a large community, that's where that works, right? Like,
People already follow them.
If you're seeing, large streamers that you follow put in their tweet, I'm going live, link in bio. They're doing that because they already have the community. They already have the,
So I think also there's now a platform that's called Link in Bio, and you have multiple links attached to it. I have not studied it, but I did notice that somebody was utilizing it, and I clicked on it, and it was literally a platform that said Link in Bio, and
Yeah,
went from there.
and,
So
and there's a few of those. So like I would still like going back to like your Twitter post. TikTok is another one. I don't use TikTok, but TikTok is another great platform to promote, like legitimately promote
right.
yourself on.
So use the what are they called? The fleets. Use the fleets. Use the little Instagram videos, the reels or whatever, and put your link there. So, like on Instagram, if you say like you're doing a video and you say link in bio, that makes more sense. Like if you're making a post about yourself, like put your link in it so that people will go. What about self promoting in other streams? We covered that already. What did B&D say? Only really promoted in Discords I like. Yes, that's a smart thing to do. Again, like find people that want to do things with you. You're going to streams and saying follow for follow, or going to streams and saying like, oh, I'm a streamer too, I play this game, that nobody's gonna like come check you out. Like play with them. If they like you, they're going to tell other people about you. Like, I love this streamer. I'm going to tell my friends, like, oh my God, have you seen this streamer? They're hilarious. They're amazing. They play this game really good. Or I watch so and so. You do that a lot. Oh, I watch so and so. I watch them do this in the game that I play. Like, you tell people about it because you enjoy that streamer. If your Twitch is huge on word of mouth. If the community likes it, if people like it, they're going to talk about it. They're going to raid you. They're going to want to be there in your community. Like, promote yourself by being yourself. Like, if it's an exaggerated form of yourself because you are a performer, do that. Like, don't, you can still come on stream and have a hard day. That's okay too. Be genuine. But like, don't be sitting on your stream all the time like, oh hey, yeah, I'm just playing my game. Like be exciting about people coming here. If that's your character and you want a full emo chat, cool. Do that too.
I mean,
stick with it. Be strong with your character.
they're there for you.
Yes.
Like, you have to keep that in mind, is they are there to see you.
Right. Well, and I think that's another thing too, is a lot of people get really discouraged with, oh, I only have 5 viewers, or there's only a few people talking in chat. If nobody's talking in chat and you don't want to stream, don't stream. But there are people there lurking, and they're actually there for you. You do have people here for you. They're interested in seeing you. So be you and enjoy yourself.
You may have people in chat not saying anything, watching your stream.
Right. And doing other things and feeling relaxed or laughing. A lot of people are sitting there laughing at your streams like, you're hilarious. But I'm over here doing the dishes because I have to, but I'm cracking up because my streamer is making me laugh, yes, do that.
I mean,
make other people wear it.
99% of my uniform
right here, like
99% of my wardrobe is my own merchandise. And it's not because I'm necessarily trying to self-promote myself.
It's because you won't buy anything else.
I can buy my own t-shirts cheaper than I can buy a t-shirt from somewhere else. Like,
I think Sun brought up a really good point. That is true. You should create your own merch. You should also utilize tools like what you use to take less out of your pocket. Like, don't buy 50 shirts that are already pre-made and expect people to buy them. Do not fucking do that at all.
There's a great platform that allows you to create your own merchandise at zero upfront cost to you, on-demand shipping, and the link is right there in chat. Like,
so definitely research your things like that. Don't just use what this giant streamer uses and
Right.
pay for it. You know, like they're probably getting it paid for them. They're utilizing that because they're making money off of it.
Streamlabs
Don't
is a
do
great
that.
example of that, right?
Yeah.
Like the big streamers who use Streamlabs and promote Streamlabs Prime, guaranteed they don't pay $19 a month or whatever it is for Streamlabs
They're
Prime.
sponsored.
They're sponsored by them. Look at it again. You are your business, right? Like, so my
Be smart about
merchandise, my merchandise here, the I use Printful and I use Store Envy. I pay zero monthly and zero upfront cost for any merchandise that I sell. All that is paid, like when someone purchases a shirt or whatever, the cost of that shirt gets taken out of the price that person pays, and then I get what's left over. I get the profit of that. So
Right.
that's what you need to look for, not Streamlabs Prime, not any of those, right? Unless if you can justify that, right? Like if you, I think Streamlabs Prime is like $19 a month or $12 a month, whatever it is.
Don't
If you,
don't put in money that you're not getting back. Don't let somebody tell you you need to give money to make money. That is a scam.
yep,
Always. It's always a scam. If you have to put in more than you're getting out of it, do not fucking do it. Don't do that. Don't waste your money trying to expand yourself unless you're investing in a massive business that you know
yep.
is going to be guaranteed. It's just like gambling. It's not worth it. You will not get that return back for sure. Like utilize services that are free, utilize stuff like until you get to that point where you're like, you know, I can pay a little bit more. Same with like the emotes, like utilize somebody's services that are going to be less than the more expensive ones, you know, start out small.
Go use Fiverr. Do them yourself. Either of those
Yes.
things. I would say the first probably 2+ years that I streamed, my emotes were made by me and only me. I refused to pay somebody else.
Yep.
And then I like I wanted emotes of my dog, and I was like, there's no way like that I can do cartoon emotes of my dog and have them look good. And that's when I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to pay somebody to do them. And I'm super happy with those emotes, right? Like it's exactly like what you said. Like, don't put money into it if you're not making money. Like, you don't need $150 microphone. You don't need a $500 Go XLR. You know, do I have those things? Absolutely. I have a $600 camera. Do I need that? No. But am I making the money from Twitch to buy those things? Maybe, maybe not. But I also have a full-time job that allows me to have income that I can spend on those things because I like them. Like I like having a good quality camera. I like having a good quality microphone that I think sounds good. Some people might hate this microphone. They swear by the Shure SM7B, right? Like you don't have to
Right.
have those things. Like if you don't need a mixer. Can you do it? If you think you need a mixer, go buy one that's $40 if you can afford it. Like you can find
Yeah.
them cheap. You don't have to buy the high end because Dr. Lupo uses a Go XLR.
Yeah.
You're not
Well,
Dr. Lupo.
so also with that is that the biggest thing about that is you're starting out small, and I don't like the small streamers thing. You're going to be a growing streamer. So saying that, you will grow if you put your time and effort and marketing money into something that's worth, starting out smaller. You're going to get a community that will support you. You will. You'll have a community that's like, hey, I got you. Let me put in on that. You can put goals, you can put things up like, oh, my goal is to get this really cool microphone. A lot of people start out with a console, a lot of people start out with smaller things. Like spending all that money to put this huge setup and nobody's watching you and you don't have a community to appreciate it, it's not worth it. If you have like the smaller setup and you're working on marketing yourself and being your genuine person and putting out your best content, you will grow a community and they will be there to support you if they can. Like, don't say, oh, I expect my community to support me. do not do that. Don't, because it won't happen. But you can always put goals up and say like, or do silly things like when B&D was doing silly things and you're doing the Christmas thing, you know, like people are interested in doing stuff like that. Like make it worth people's while to come into your stream and you'd be like, you know what, I really want to support you. I love this. This is amazing. You know, and they're not going to come in there and be like, oh, I am going to support you because I see your amazing setup. That doesn't happen. Like, yeah, people will be like, oh, cool setup. Where'd you get it? That's about it. They're
Right,
not going to be like, oh, let me throw money at you because you've got so much money.
Right.
Like,
Nobody comes and watches me because I have a $600 camera and 4 monitors. That's not why they're here.
no. No.
Like
Let's catch up on chat.
yeah. So decent mics for
D&D's
$30.
original.
Yes,
Yeah.
100% decent mics, $30. Actually, little self promotion. The Our Touching Tips.
A little.
Yeah, the Our Touching Tips podcast will be probably on Saturday next week. And if you want to see what a $30 microphone sounds like, I will be on one next week. Like,
Yes.
I will be sitting right next. Well, not in this photo that's right there, but like I will be physically sitting right next to Custom next week on Saturday at a $30 microphone.
And a less expensive setup for sure. But
For sure.
I mean, if anything, like if people can hear you, awesome. Utilize those free services, like make sure your sound's right. And if you're gonna buy something, buy lighting. If you have a camera, like
Lighting is
buy
important.
lighting. Like, because if you're streaming with a camera and it's dark, what's the point of having a camera?
If you're streaming with a camera and it's dark, you need a $600 camera.
Well, also, like, I will say, like, I have lighting right now, but it's a teeny tiny, like, $15 light. It can get really, really bright. It can go, you know, gently. Like, you don't have to spend $100 for a light box. You don't have to get ridiculous. Like, you can literally buy. It was a Sun USB light on Amazon, and it's does what I need it to do because it lights me up.
So I have a green screen behind me. Believe
You
it or
have
not,
an obnoxious setup. I'm talking about a cheap setup,
but
like basics.
well, so like my green screen originally because I did replace the screen itself because it tore. But my first green screen, I paid I think $20 for the green screen itself, with the stand that it goes with, and then my 2 lights that I have above me, I think were $25, right? Like
Yeah, they even have those little green screen things that you can attach to your chair.
so they do, but those are
Like,
actually more expensive than the one I have behind
I'm
me.
just saying. Like
Yeah.
you can find cheaper versions if you really want to have the full setup. Don't get obnoxious with it until you're like, oh, I have a community that actually wants to watch me stream. Because a lot of people will again get burnt out and be like, oh, I got all these things and you know I really wanted to be a streamer, but nobody's here to watch me. Like, don't invest your time in that until you have a community that's watching you and is interested in you. And don't worry about like don't let that part stress you out either. Don't worry about if people are going to like you, like, and try to be this person that you're not, because eventually it's not going to work out that way. You're going to be tired of it. Your community is going to see like this isn't you. If you're full on like this is my persona or streaming, stick with that. Cool, but just be yourself and don't stress too much over that either. Don't stress on being somebody bigger than you. Like definitely have a good goal, but don't worry about it. Just stream and do what you enjoy doing, and people that are worth keeping will stick around. That's a good life lesson too. Don't let other people judge you or determine who you are in life. Like, be yourself, and the people that are worth having around will stick around and see you for you. It's really not worth it to, lie about yourself, because eventually that's going to come out and somebody's going to be like, oh, I thought you were someone else. Like, attract the people that are attracted to you. In life and streaming, the end. I'm out. I mean, son, it's not even like I was saying earlier, it's not even luckily. It's definitely nice to have those people, but it's because they like you for you and they're your community and they want to support you and they're interested in your content. It's about you. Like, it's really genuinely about you. I like you, so I'm going to support you. I'm not just going to be the nice person and do that to everybody. Invest in who I'm interested in. Like, if you have a community, like, oh, I really, really like this person, I'm going to support them. Like, we have people in our community that don't support each other. That's okay. They just aren't interested in what your content is. That's all right. There's lots of other people that are interested. Like, you don't have to support people that you don't have interest in. If you want to, definitely shout them out. Definitely support them. That's huge. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk. Our Twitch support TED Talk. Our touching tips Twitch support TED Talk. Oh, my knees hurt. Also, get a comfy chair if you're going to be sitting there for a while. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Bless your
Game
face.
updates. Thank you.
Mouse ace with which operator?
You're always Owen. You did that to yourself. If you have any questions, B&D, definitely put them out there. Or if you have something to say, put them out there. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Son, I'm glad you're here. Dub, I'm always glad you're here. I guess I'm glad Dar's here too.
A buck ace, nice. Wow. I can show myself out.
I appreciate you letting me stream on your platform and, not making me do any work. I love that.
How to fix internet speeds. Move to where the internet is.
Go to the internet. Borrow Google Fiber from your closest neighbor that has it and just do a long line of fiber all the way to your house. That's what I want. I want a long line of Google Fiber.
I'll give you a long line of Google Fiber.
Excuse me? You heard it here on stream. I'll let you guys know if he does not do that. Pressure. You promised. Yeah, internet speeds are definitely difficult. Talk to your internet provider. See if there's anything they can do for you. Sometimes if you talk to the right person, they'll say, oh, you know what, we can upgrade you to this and you can actually keep your price. It's not common, but if you keep asking for it, sometimes it happens. Check all of your routers and modems and make sure they're up to speed, up to date. Sometimes you can't change your internet, but sometimes you can do a little bit of extra to boost it slightly.
One thing,
turn all the Wi-Fi off.
So that actually, so I know it was a joke, but it's also it's an important topic too. Like,
yeah,
I'm actually gonna hold on. I have to do a window capture here because so. An important part of it is making sure that your settings in OBS or slobs, which is all that I am able to open right now, are correct, right? Like if you don't have the upload to stream 1080p video, first of all, my recommendation is to never stream 1080p to Twitch, because most mobile phones, which a lot of people watch Twitch on, cannot view the video when it's in 1080p. Stream at 720 or some other resolution, 720 or below. Stream at that. But the bit rate, set the bit rate to what your video can, or your internet can handle uploading, or make sure you have transcoding. Yes, absolutely have transcoding. There's OBS and slobs, I believe, also have a setting now think it's in here under advanced, all the way down at the bottom where Twitch or OBS has theirs, right here. So OBS and Slobs both have this setting called dynamically change bitrate when dropping frames while streaming. So if your upload can't handle it, turn this on before you start streaming and let OBS or Slobs adjust your bitrate for you. Yes, B&D, thank you for showing me that because I didn't know it. Like it, OBS took it from Slobs. It was like the one thing that Slobs added that bitrate or OBS actually grabbed. But the other thing is in your output. You know, if you can't handle the bitrate, change it, lower it. I normally stream between 2500 and 3500. Sometimes I'll try and change it up to 4000, but you know, and I have pretty decent upload. Like I don't have fiber or anything like that, but I get 40 megabits per second upload usually when it works. So make sure that's set correctly. Watch YouTube videos. Don't necessarily follow their settings to the T, but they will probably explain to you what all of these settings mean. It's important to not just go in and copy paste what they're using, because again, you're probably watching a big content creator on YouTube who's telling you how to use OBS, who probably has either
the equipment.
Yeah, they live somewhere where they have fiber, so they have gig up, gig down, right? Like so they can do 6,000 bit rate. Oh.
I can read that.
Okay. So the other thing that this kind of coincides with is a lot of people get encoder overloaded messages in both OBS and Slobs, and that some of the biggest causes of that is you're streaming from the same PC that you're gaming on, and your PC specs can't handle that, right? So what can you do to change that? Again, it's go watch some videos, maybe this one even, maybe this will have enough information for you, but changing your output resolution, actually, yeah, so this is your scaled output resolution. Lower that. If 720 and you're still getting encoder overloading, lower it down even more. Because that's going to put less strain on your CPU and your GPU because it has less work to do. It's a smaller video for it to encode. The encoder that you choose is also important. If you have a good GPU, try hardware encoding. Maybe your GPU can handle, like if you have a 1080 or a 2080, or even a 1060, 2060, 1660, any of those, do the hardware encoding. Even if you stream from the same PC, I have used hardware encoding almost the entire time that I've been streaming, and I do have some problems occasionally with my FPS, but it doesn't have anything to do with my encoder itself. I have other issues that I have to adjust every once in a while, but yeah,
you're getting very technical at this point.
Yes, I
You're
am.
speaking words that some people may not understand. Definitely look up those things.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is very technical, but what you're doing is also really technical, right? Like because you may be streaming and you're dropping frames like crazy. It says it in the bottom, and you don't know why. Like you need to figure these things out to help, because again,
correct.
If people come into your stream and you're dropping every 5 frames, you're dropping 3 of them, people aren't going to stay, right? If it's constant stutter, people aren't going to stay around.
Correct. Yes. And I'm saying like what you're saying right now is getting really deep into it. So as somebody that doesn't know what you're saying, like you can generalize that by look into what your tools are, like we talked about, and look up those things. Figure out if you have a PC, why it's not doing something and what it should be doing. Like, yes, you should learn what's going on, or ask for help if you don't understand it, or look up YouTube videos. That's important. I'm just saying, like, that advice that you give is very technical when it gets down to it. And if somebody's not there going, wait, let me click on this, they may not be keeping up with you at that point.
Right. And yes, B&D, I totally agree. Like you should definitely take the time to learn the software. You don't have to be an expert
No.
because a lot of people, there's a lot of videos out there that will tell you how to do things, or at least
Yes.
point you in the right direction. And
Right.
you know,
Or ask somebody like, hey, do you know about this?
absolutely. And
Really easy.
find what work again, but again, like don't just copy and paste their settings because those settings might not work for you.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
you do need to kind of understand, like if you're getting into it and trying to fix things by changing these settings, make sure you understand what those settings are that you're changing and what you should be changing them to based on what your internet and your PC can handle.
Right. So Sun said that he doesn't agree with some streamers' statement about only playing one game until you get a community. That he feels like it's an even easier way for yourself to get burned out unless you enjoy the game, obviously. But people are saying things like you should only be playing Dead by Daylight until you get a community. And when you do that, it can be quite uncomfortable. Sometimes that community will only stick around for that game. I definitely agree with that. I think that as a growing streamer, you should find something that you enjoy, but also try other games too. I have seen it go both ways. If you completely enjoy a game, play it as much as you want to play it, whatever's comfortable for you. I don't think that you should necessarily follow things like that are considered advice when it comes to what you want to do for your community and your stream. If your community is asking for that, play it, but say to your community, hey, I like other games too. I don't just want to play this. And choose like days that you are doing different games. Like Saturdays are, variety Saturdays, and try different things that you haven't tried or that your community is suggesting. So if you are getting into a game that you're continuously playing and you enjoy it, play it as much as you feel comfortable playing it. Don't play it because someone else is telling you to play it, because at a certain point, if you get burnt out on that game and you want to change it, your community will drop you pretty quickly if they just came there for that game, or they might bully you. And setting that boundary right away is important. I agree with you. Like, getting burned out can happen. But I don't think I agree with that party. I don't think that you should only play a certain game until you get a community, because that limits you to a certain community, and you don't necessarily want that. You just get burnt out on streaming, period. Yep. Let them tell you what to do. Sometimes you can have your community give you advice, and tell you what games they're interested in. But if you are constantly streaming to one demographic, you're not probably going to grow as well as you could if you did some variety and let you like rest. A lot of the times too, in games, you can get upset about a game and you're like, you know what, I need to take a break from this game. Like, that's real. You need to take a break from the game no matter how much you love it. And if you just stop streaming because you need to take a break from the game, that's not helping you out at all. It's not letting your community see you enjoy other games. Like, if you just need to find something stupid to play and laugh, do that. Like, definitely don't let other people control what your enjoyment is in your streaming community. If your community likes you for who you are, they may not enjoy the game, but they may be there to support you too. Like, hey, I don't really feel like watching this game today, but I'm here lurking. Awesome. Like, and tell your community, you know what, I'm going to try this game out for a little bit. I may like it, I may not, I may stick with it for a little bit, but eventually I'm probably going to go to a different game too. I'm going to switch it up. Like, give them an opportunity to say like, hey, on Thursday I'm playing this, come back if you don't like this game. You're giving them the opportunity to see you as a different sided streamer, not just that one sided streamer. If you play the same, they get mad when you switch. Yep.
I agree with that.
If they
I've
deal
seen,
with it or they can leave.
yeah. So I've seen. So here's the thing too. Like you'll again, it comes back to the big content creators that are putting content out there to like they're doing what their living is, right? The big one, the big content creators, that's their job. They do full time marketing and content creation, and they put out statements and tutorial videos and things like that, suggesting to growing smaller streamers on how they should grow their stream, right? Like that is what they deliver their content around, and you will get people on both sides. A prime example, I've seen some streamers or content creators like actually put out videos and say your camera should always face your gameplay because people want to see you looking at your gameplay because that's what they're looking at too. But on the other side of that, I've seen other content creators say, make sure your camera's always facing your chat because make it look like you're always looking at chat and interacting with your chat, which I also agree, like I do agree with that. Like you should be interacting with your chat, you should be reading your chat. Obviously, if you are a large content creator, that's sometimes harder, but you should still be doing it. Whether it's whatever messages you can read from that, you should still be doing it. Do I necessarily believe that your camera should be facing your gameplay? Not really, but it also depends on what's good for you, what's good for your community, what's good for your stream. Not what, big content creator on YouTube told you is good for your stream and your content. Find out what
Right.
works for you.
And not those big content creators are going to switch to whatever they feel like whenever they feel like to get the views that they want. So they're not going to follow that advice.
Right.
Like if their community, if their Dead by Daylight community is failing and they're seeing that, they're going to try to switch to another game. Or if they're like, I'm so interested in this game, I've been playing this game on my own, I want to introduce this to my community, like I'm going to stop playing this game for a little bit. Like if you only came here for the game, then that's okay if you walk away. I'm okay with that because I know the community that's here for me are the people that are worth keeping around. And if you don't like the game that I'm going to play, sometimes we'll go back to the other one. Or, hey, this is just me for now. Like, you do have to set those boundaries. It's very important, especially for your mental health. That's something that, like, we haven't even touched on yet. But I think that mental health is a big thing about streaming that needs to be covered. Like if your mental health is not where you need it to be and you're letting other people dictate that for you, it's going to really bring you down really quickly. And if you need to take a break or if you need to change games, do that for yourself. Like, hey, I appreciate you guys. This is just something that's healthy for me right now. Like, if you need to take a break from me, I understand that. I have to take a break from this game. This is what's best for me because it is your stream initially. Yes, you want people to support you, but if you have an entire community of toxic people that don't care about your mental health and only care about the game you're playing, it's worth it to get a new community.
Yep.
It's really not, because you're not going to be happy doing what they want you to do constantly, because if you're not making yourself happy and you're worried about making other people happy, you are never going to have fulfillment in your life. You're not going to enjoy this. Like, you don't want to hate the game you're playing. There's no point in streaming at that point unless that's your brain.
Ultimately, it should always be fun for you and your community.
Yeah, it's a
But you
compromise
first.
for sure. Yeah, you first. You don't put somebody else's needs in the community on the internet above yours. Don't let people bully you into that kind of thing either. I mean, I played a game that there were constant toxic players, and I consistently played that game because I enjoyed it. And people that had quit the game, uninstalled it, and raged consistently in those games would come to my stream just to play the game because I just fucking enjoyed it. I liked it. I was silly. Like, I just messed around. Like, I did not care. And to them, with their own words, it was refreshing that they could play a game in a different way than they had played before. They had played with people that treated them poorly and treated them in a toxic environment and made them feel like they had to win or they had to get so many kills or whatever. And I just sat there and danced in the game and said, I don't care how many deaths I get. Like, let's just have fun. Like, that's huge. It's important that you enjoy it. Make sure to PayPal me that $100. That's not what it says in the tweet. It's funny. Speaking of the tweet, make sure you retweet the tweets and make sure you go follow the podcast channel, please. We would like to see you there once we start doing that regularly. Do it. Maybe we'll do it next weekend. I'm just kidding. Maybe we'll be on my channel next weekend. See if we can get anybody that gets notifications anymore.
Our touching tips was last seen playing nothing ever.
Nothing. That's us. I was gonna get touching tips, but they already had that. I was taken. I think that between Darth and I, we've been around the Twitch communities for a while and we've seen people fail and we've seen people succeed. We've also seen people ask a lot of questions. And to us, like, as direct Google contacts, we like to answer questions and we like to help people without having them have to Google it.
I mean, I usually charge $5 per question, so like doing this, it's you're getting it for free today.
Yep. Tips means fingers. Tips can mean anything. We give tips and we may or may not touch tips, but we give touching tips as well. We have touched tips in prior streams.
Free today.
Free today. From in the future, you only need to pay $9.99 a month to get your free sticker in the mail. I mean, those are your tech questions because you don't want to be tech support.
Correct.
But there isn't enough of this type of content out there talking to people about their streaming concerns, their opinions, their needs, what they should be doing to learn more about themselves. People just have to do it and fail, and we don't want people to do that. We don't, obviously, we want you to learn from your mistakes, but we don't want it to be such a struggle that you give up. That's not fun at all. Nobody, and of course, like, streaming should be fun. Like, it should not be something you're sick of or that you have to drink energy drinks to stay alive through. Like, Darth is everybody's tech support. Man should be paid more. That's another thing too, is that, like, that's a consistent, like, you're always helping people with tech and streaming stuff and the background part of it, and you should be paid for that. But we do like helping people with that. I used to be obsessed with Twitch and be consistently on it. I was modding 20 plus streams at a time, constantly helping people grow their channels, put comments in, and people are always saying, you should be paid to do this. Like, and we would rather just help people. And this makes it a little bit easier to talk to a lot of people at once instead of burning ourselves out. Like, being in constant streams, having multiple people message us privately and say, like, hey, can you fix this? Hey, can you fix this? And not having time where we're like, okay, hold on, I just have to respond to this question, which typically we do because we care about it. Literally, when I have a tech question, I instantly think of Darth. That's good. He's a techie. He knows things.
I try to
Not
answer.
that we pay people asking questions like what you're about to say.
I try to answer every single person that ever asked me a tech question. Do I always say that'll be $5? Yes, I always say that. Do I expect $5 from somebody? No, I do not.
No, it's a fun joke.
It also makes it more fun though when they do give the $5.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I said the same thing. Like I used to tell people it was every command that I made, I said if you didn't ask me to be your mod, I charged $5 per command that I made, and I made about 55 commands per channel when it was starting out, like the basic, but they were customized. Obviously, because I'm custom made, and I would say that jokingly and I would get it done, but some people would pay me for it and I appreciated that, but I didn't expect it. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm billing you. But it does take up time to do that. It only takes a few minutes to help out. So it's like getting a tip, literally. Like you're tipping me for helping you out. And I'm just interested in you getting to an easier place quicker through your stream instead of struggling. I don't want you to struggle when I can easily copy and paste or help you out with something that I have knowledge of, that I'm not obviously getting paid for.
And nowadays, if you want those starting up commands, you can come sub to Darth and get sub perks, and you can push them right to your own Nightbot.
And then Darth pays me for the stolen idea.
But like literally, that is like I mean, I'm the one who really uses it for myself, but I've had other people actually use it. Like I have a ongoing. I just added one the other day, and it's in my channel now. I update these commands on occasion when I think of new ones that I think are good ones that are useful, and they go into the Nightbot manager that I have that is available if you are a sub to this channel. Like I tried to when I started doing this, for fun, but like, and I was like, people are paying for content from me. Why? Like I want to give them more than just my content, right? Like they're paying me monthly, and um, you know, I feel I have some expertise in both technology and in streaming. Am I a big streamer? Absolutely not. But I understand the concepts and I understand the tools and I understand what needs to be done to do those things. I'm just terrible at the marketing side of it. So, but like, so my offering is if you come sub to me, and let's be honest, 90% of the people that are in people's communities also stream. So if you sub to me, you get some tools that will help you during your stream. The little thing over there, right, that slides out, that's that promotes my socials and things like that. Like that is also a sub perk that you get. It's an overlay that you can add right to your stream. You can manage every single thing that goes on there. You can change how it flips, the colors, all of that. Like that's another perk that you can add to your stream by subbing to me.
So, in my opinion, that's another fantastic way of marketing yourself. So, instead of just being selfish and getting money for your subs, you're actually helping other people out. I also have a problem with this is that, yes, a lot of people in your community are going to stream. They want to be affiliates. They may not stream very much, they may stream a lot. But if you are purposefully not supporting those people in your community to detract from your viewership, that is wrong. Like you are not helping out your friends. You expect them to help you out. You expect them to show up. You expect them to retweet your tweets. You expect them to sub to you. You are not doing that right. And it gets toxic. You get people that you have community members that are sitting there going, well, I'm subbing to you or I'm spending time in your chat because I care about you and I want to support you, and I'm starting to feel obligated to do those things. I don't want to do that anymore because you're not helping me out. Like you shouldn't expect your friends to consistently do that, but when they're purposefully not retweeting you, they're purposefully like avoiding your coming into your stream and saying hi because they're streaming, that's not okay. You know, like what you're doing there is you're saying, you know what? I know my community streams. I know my viewers are lurking and streaming at the same time. I know that when they sub, they're going to get these opportunities to better themselves. You're not doing that for yourself. Yes, that can help you and that's going to promote you for sure, because that person's going to say, look at all of this stuff that Darth helped me with. Like, go check him out. I appreciate him. Like, that's genuine support. That's something that's really important, in my opinion, with your community. Because if you're having community members that are constantly about themselves and being like, oh, I'm just so upset that everybody in my community is now streaming and they're not coming to watch me, like, that is bad. That's really bad. Like, it's Twitch. Everybody has a chance and an opportunity, and you should support your friends. Like, if you can't be there all the time, that's okay. If you can't lurk, that's okay. But don't purposefully ignore someone that you know streams just because you're about to stream in 5 minutes. You know, oh, I'm not going to retweet them because my tweet's more important. You know, don't do that kind of behavior, because you'll end up losing people. You're losing your friends, you know. So this is a fantastic way, like, to market yourself. Like you said, you're not very good at marketing, but you know what you're good at and you utilize that. So somebody's going to appreciate you and say, I really like this person. He streams. Even if I'm streaming, I'm going to hang out or say, go check him out, because that's not going to detract from you. That's going to show that you're supporting other people, and people want that. Like, oh, I love somebody that supports other people. Like, I want to be a part of that community. Sorry, that was a little bit of a rant.
No,
I've seen people behave that way and it makes me upset.
yeah. So I kind of withheld myself a little bit too, because it kind of brought me. I was talking about it earlier today. Like, I'm not going to give specifics, but it was it, it the discussion that you started brought me to someone who I used to support a whole lot, who doesn't stream anymore, who, like, used to support me, you know, but in turn, it turned out he only supported me because I supported him. And
Right.
once, like, once he kind of changed his streaming hours from like afternoons and evenings to when I could watch him to daytimes when I couldn't be there, like, then, you know, he unfollowed, unsubbed, and you know, unfollowed me on Twitter, and basically just kind of, you know, unmodded me, and like kind of vanished from all of that. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna say, you know, he no longer really has a channel because he unmodded me, but, you know, if 1 + 1 = 2, I'm just saying.
I mean, I know who you're talking about, and I was unmodded and unfriended as well. And I had known that person for years and supported them when they weren't a big time streamer. So, yeah, that can be really dangerous. And like, I'm not going to be a toxic person, but karma will get you. Period. Like, I'm not going to talk trash about you. I'm not going to go slander your name everywhere. But I know that if you're going to behave like that, eventually karma's going to bite you in the ass. Like, people aren't going to watch you because they're going to see who you are and who you're, you know, ignoring. And if it's somebody that they care about and they're like, oh, why am I not, why are they not supporting them anymore? Like, it's going to be, you're going to drop your shit.
Nice.
Oh, just getting excited. Are you going to play R6 tonight?
Maybe.
Are you going to rip out your nose hairs like you said you were going to do?
I didn't even prepare any of that stuff.
Wow. That was going to be the main subject of the stream today.
Yeah, I should have done it first, because now I don't know if I'm up for a nose rip out at 11:30 at night. So
You know what? I'm going to call out some people right now because what Dub said. Like, Dub and B&D are playing video games right now.
B&D streaming.
And I don't know. Yeah, and B&D is streaming, and they have both been active in the chat. They have been supportive.
Oh, he's not streaming anymore. But he was. He was streaming.
He was. But like, you don't have to be supportive and constant all the time, but like saying hi to people, like that always impresses me. Like, when I'm streaming, I can focus. Like, just on my chat.
So
Like I suck at playing video games. I can just focus on chat. Like I am blown away when those guys are streaming and saying hi at the same time. That is fucking amazing.
Rug is notorious
The
for it.
amazing multitasker.
Like I
Well,
I
when
tell him to get out of my stream.
Well, he pauses what he's doing and he
Mhm.
goes and says hi to everybody. And like that is huge. And that brings you to say, you know what, make sure everybody go check this person out because they are taking the time to say hi, you know, when they're live. Like that's difficult to do. Or like if Dub's like playing video games, he could just focus on the video game, but he cares enough to say something. And like even if it is about his video games, he's saying hi and he's talking, and that's really important. So if you're able to do that, that's great. Like definitely, like don't feel forced to do that, but that's something that, you know, it's good to say. Like even just going to somebody else and be like, hey, I hope you're having a good day. Like it's awesome.
What? So
I said shit about a bunch. Yes, you did. You're very supportive. I'm calling you out for being supportive. I appreciate you. I love your face. Let me touch your butt.
so one thing that I kind of want to kind of mention a little bit on the marketing side of things is and I've done quite a few of these. Um, they do you know, I talked about this earlier about inflating numbers, right? Like running giveaways, right? Like those uh, those are really a number inflator. But I will say, out of every giveaway I've ran, I've had at least two or three people that stick around, maybe not all the time, but that stick around afterwards. And so there's terms in marketing. I don't know the exact terms of them, but it's your cost for the cost of your customer, right? Like ultimately your viewers are your customer, right? Like they're the ones. So it's how much does marketing cost for you to obtain a new customer? And one way you can do that on you know with on Twitch and as a content creator is running giveaways. Like if you go search for hashtag giveaway on Twitter, there thousands and thousands of tweets every minute go through with giveaway. And that's the reason that there are. Now there's a lot of bots associated with those. It's people that are just running robots that are looking for those giveaways to enter them to win free shit. But there's also real people in there too. And
Yeah.
if you can get in, you know, run giveaways and get, you know, you have a real person, and I do this, and I don't care who knows this. If I validate that you're a real person, I validate that you did everything that you said you did in my giveaway process. If if it said that you joined the Discord and I check and you're no longer in the Discord, you don't win. If you know,
Right.
you know those things. If I go and look at your Twitter account, and every single tweet on your Twitter account is just you retweeting giveaways,
Yeah.
I'm re-rolling and I'm picking somebody else because I will find a real person to give that away to.
Right.
And because of that, like I said, almost every person that has ever won, if I didn't already know them, which that has happened a couple times, they've stuck around. Because so if you find that real person and they're the ones who win the giveaway, they will probably hang out. Like I said, it might not be a you know, it's just like every viewer on Twitch. They're not always there, but I've got giveaway winners that come in all the time, and you know, because you know I did a giveaway, and they also maybe they play Siege or whatever the case may be. They still come around. So like, you got platforms like Gleam.io and PlayerGG, which both have free offerings, and you can, you know, even if it's something little like maybe you have some extra equipment that you don't use anymore. Maybe you bought a new microphone. Give it
Or
away.
the things that Deb gets, the little game.
Yeah, the Humble Bundle games. Yeah,
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 yeah.
all of that.
Like if you have any games that you don't want to play and you have the codes or whatever. I have no idea how that works. Like, make it something like that. I also want to add, like, the way that you do giveaways, I really, really like, because you don't just promote yourself, you also give other people the opportunity to get follows from those giveaways.
Yeah.
And then you also put a cross platform a lot of different streamers that play different games than you. So even if that person didn't necessarily come to your channel, they went to other people's channel and they found somebody that they enjoyed, and then they came over to your community because we raid each other or whatever, and they can follow multiple people. So that's also supporting other people too. Like, that's really big. Like, it's huge for other people. It helps other people. If you can't do that in your giveaway, that's fine too, but that's another thing to think about when you do a giveaway. Like, you're helping other people out, and of course some of those people are going to stick around. I got a lot of people that followed me from one of your giveaways, and a lot of people stuck around. It was like 50 follows, and I only lost like 10 over a multiple month period. It wasn't immediate either, and I don't stream. So
Right.
I can understand why they left, because there was no content. But that's really, really helpful. Like, do that. Like, help other people out if you can do that, and help people that deserve it. Like, don't try to raid somebody that has 10,000 viewers because you think you're gonna get follows out of it.
Actually,
Like,
that's a great top. That like let's touch on that too. Like legitimately, like
help people that will help you back genuinely,
yeah,
not to get something out of it. Don't go raid somebody or put their name in a giveaway or pay for their sub because you think they're going to give you attention. Don't do that. That's not worth your time, and you're going to get disappointment out of it. Like, support people that are genuine and you care about and you enjoy their games or whatever. Like, talk about those people, like, oh, I really enjoy this streamer, like, I like their emotes, I like the way they play this game. Like, that will give your approval to the people that you're going to share that person with, and like, that will help that other person um with their status of being a genuine person. Like, that's huge. That's a really big thing.
I wanna go back and circle around back to the rating of other streamers. Um, I am of the mindset again. It's a way to support somebody else. It doesn't matter if you have one viewer. You should be rating other people when you're done.
10,000% always.
You should, because so either
Not
it
hosting,
not hosting, you
rating.
rating. You should hosting is for when you are completely offline and the person you rated also goes offline. Then your auto host list should kick in, and then it should be hosting people that you recommend, probably a team that you're on or whatever, and it'll go through of whoever is online. It will auto host them. But when you are done streaming, you should be rating out to someone else, either in your community of friends or whatever, or if there's, if you're playing a specific game, go find someone in the directory. Go find someone who, maybe has 3 viewers, like, and raid them. Like, first of all, obviously, either you or one of your mods or whatever, go check them out and make sure that they're going to be online. Make sure that they have, that they pay attention to chat, that they, that they're not. Now I'm bringing up a whole other topic. Make sure that they're not in follower only mode, because if you are, like, if you're a small, like, if you only have a couple viewers, you should
You can
not
say
have follower only on. You should not have it on ever. If unless you're Dr. Lupo, you should not have that on. But yeah, so you should be definitely rating them.
Lupo, are you being sponsored?
He just went 7-1. He's a siege mate.
He's had awesome teachers. Is that a ponytail you're making?
I'm just pulling my hair, getting some hand grease in it.
Getting some more forehead line.
Yeah.
You're going for more forehead. Yeah, I agree for sure. And I will add to that. If if you're raiding the same 3 people, you're not going to help your community and you're not going to help your growth. If you are unsure or do not see anyone online, definitely find somebody new. Definitely find somebody in the game so that you have people stick around that you're playing, or somebody that you went to their channel or your mod checked it out and they were like, oh my gosh, this person's hilarious, or they're dancing or something, like entertaining.
Emmy coming in with a raid. Emmy, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? How was PUBG?
This is Darth. I am custom. If you don't know us,
this is us.
That's another thing. That's another thing that's important about raids. If you get a raid, make sure you shout out the streamer that raids you. Talk about yourself briefly. Introduce yourself. Acknowledge the people that are going to be here. We love your face too.
Love your face.
Like, appreciate that streamer is sharing their community with you. Also appreciate the fact that streamer took the time to check that you're online to raid you. Understand that streamer was just streaming. Please make sure that you do not expect a streamer to raid you to stick around. Tell them you appreciate them, shout them out, ask people to follow, get say something with their community. One thing that I really enjoyed somebody said was, whoever came over with Emmy's stream, tell me something you really enjoyed about your streamer that you just came over with. That was really fun to see. So then their community talked about their streamer and said like, oh, I really like this, or blah, blah, blah. And you learn about that streamer without asking the streamer. Because a lot of people are saying, oh, hey, Emmy, how was your game? What did you do? Blah, blah, blah. And you expect that person to have a conversation with you when they're probably really hungry and they probably want to go to the bathroom and they need a minute to like close out all their windows and stop their, stuff. Like, it's fantastic if they're saying stuff in chat and talking to you. But make sure you talk to their community too. That's really big. And of course, introduce yourself. Like I said, like say a little bit about yourself so that their community knows, like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what I normally do. This is so-and-so. Like, say a little blip.
Theon, and I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not because I never do. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm assuming maybe you came over with from Miss Me. I hope so. If not, I'm glad you're here either way. I am Darth. I normally, during the week, I play a lot of Siege. And then on Fridays or Saturday nights, Custom and I like to do this where we just kind of sit and we talk and we, hopefully help people and have fun doing so.
Or, if we're not helping you, hopefully we're helping you at least sleep with our relaxing voices. Our ASMR podcast. We don't do a lot of shouting, so some people would just like to fall asleep. But we were just talking about raids.
Ramsey. Hello, Ramsey.
Oh, snap. Yeah, Yams doesn't like my voice.
You need yelling
about me. Yes. Definitely go follow Yams. He'll randomly stream. He doesn't tell anybody that he randomly streams, but I follow him. So, maybe it'll be that late night where you're up at like 3 a.m. and Yams just pops on and he's like, thinks he's sneaky and and he doesn't know people are watching him. You should go check him out. He's a good streamer. And he doesn't yell all the time. He's fun. But like we were saying, like we're giving out advice and tips if you have questions about streaming or just want to comment. That's fantastic too. Let me compliment you. We were just talking about raids and Emmy was like, perfect timing. Yep, go follow Sun too. Sun does random streaming and I also enjoy streams. I lurk in a lot of their streams so they don't know that I'm there, but
Same.
I watch.
I lurk, especially more so now. I lurk in a lot more streams than I'm active in.
Yeah, I'm always there. I'm enjoying your content. You don't know. But we were talking about raids and how important it is to support your community, like even if it's 1 or 100, like make it important to your community that you're going to someone else's community, or if it's the same, like, hey, I love this person, like go check them out. If I know you're a chronic, how do you know somebody's a chronic lurker? Does that mean you look at your viewers?
All right, listen, B&D. Okay, so if you brought up this topic, one of my peeves that I do have
Snap.
is bots that call out lurkers.
Mm-hmm. Or like give points to people that have been in the channel for a long amount of time. I hate that. Like, oh, gotta leave.
Like I'm all for
I mean,
I'm all for bots that, say hello and welcome to somebody who says something in chat. If
it's a good point. Even if it's a joke, it's a good point. People actually do this.
Yeah, it really is. Like, if your community is okay with it, that's fine. But just keep in mind that new people coming in might not be okay with it. A lot of people on Twitch, like, I've had a Twitch account since 2014. I didn't say anything in anybody's chat until about 3 years ago. Legitimately, did not say anything in anyone's chat until 3 years ago. But I watched a lot of streams.
Yeah. I think there's also a lot of people on Twitch. Again, we can touch on mental issues that have social anxiety. And sometimes if you specifically call them out, then they'll leave, or they don't want somebody else to know that they're there, which isn't always fantastic, but they will leave. So it is totally okay to say, like, I appreciate the people that are lurking. Like, I see you. I'm glad you're here. If you want to say hi, I would love to see you in chat, but you don't have to do that. Like, I'm so glad you're here. Like, I hope you're, busy. I hope you're relaxing. I hope you're enjoying it. Like, you don't have to tell me that. Like, I see that you're here and I appreciate that tab being open.
No, I know you don't actually do it. I was just giving you a hard time for mentioning it.
But there are people, that's an important point. There are people that actually do that, and there are people that use bots that say, like, so and so's been in the channel and they get so many points, and you're like, oh fuck, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go right now. There is a setting, if you are a chronic lurker and you don't like to be called out, there is a setting where you can turn off your presence there. It makes you an anonymous viewer. You can also sign out. I hate giving that information out for the fact that I have been stalked on Twitch. I have had people show up in places that I was to purposefully watch what I was saying. So I don't like saying that, but it is a thing. If you are a social anxiety person that doesn't want to be called out in a stream, that they do call you out. But always appreciate your lurkers.
I mean, so to kind of go on off of that point too, also keep in mind, you can have more than one Twitch account. If you're not comfortable with, like, if people know you by Darth Minos, you can always create an alternate account that you can log into and
I have done that.
No, I know you have. I'm saying it in general. Like,
yes,
I have multiple accounts. Like,
I just want to put that out there that I'm watching you guys, and it's not just with my account. I'm lurking and paying attention to all of your streams with other accounts too. Yes, there's a setting that hides you from the user list, makes you anonymous. It's in settings. You can't always chat that way. One time I accidentally chatted that way, and it was a random generated name, which was really weird. I was really freaked out.
interesting.
So I stopped. Oh, okay, I will stalk you, but only with your consent.
So
I'll have no consent.
again, WiseBot, which is a fantastic bot for data, is notorious for calling out lurkers.
Just my wall. Yeah.
So
So definitely turn the settings off.
yeah, so if you use WiseBot,
Oh, that's pretty. Is that new? I love that.
oh, I like that too.
It's so pretty.
did that?
Beautiful. Emote M.
Who did the emote?
Who did this?
Promote them.
It's very symmetrical and like glorious. You know what it reminds me of?
You made it? That's fantastic.
I love it. It looks like candy. I can't remember what candy I'm thinking of, but it looks like candy and I want some. Give me some of the juiciness. Make more. Make more emotes, please. You're good. Proudest heart I ever made. I made my heart too. Everybody needs a love emote and you need to make it. Make your own heart emotes. Yes. My lube love. Always use lube too. And get consent. All the loves. I love that. That's fantastic. You did a great job. Oh,
And then since I'm putting those in there, I have to do my favorite combination of emotes.
oh lordy. But you're supposed to use the lube love for that. Yeah, it does look like those. The new Sour Patch ones. Or like Sweet Tarts? No, it's not Sweet Tarts. The chewy Sweet Tarts that have like the shiny candy shell. No, I want candy. Oh, it's midnight. Yeah, those. Yeah, those ones. The delicious ones.
We did a solid 3 hours of talking on the topic of Twitch, and I think it was great.
It was great. We should definitely have more streams that specify that, because I know we've been around for a long time. We have a lot of things to cover. Dang, now I want candies. Bring candies. Good thing Valentine's coming up. Candy sells, obviously. I want candy.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. That's not a hint. Give me candy. This is not a hint. I like candy.
I want candy.
I want candy.
Give it to me.
Put it in my face. Yeah. Valentine's candy is fun though. I will 100% subscribe to holidays that are like that because I like all the little shit that they put out like a weirdo, but I like giving it to people. Like I obviously like the fun what? I like the fun shaped things like the Christmas tree shaped Reese's and the egg shaped ones. Like those are really fun. I enjoy all of that cheesy stuff, but I like giving little like Valentine's boxes to people. I like cheesy stuff. Obviously, I love cheese.
If you don't like cheese,
Get the fuck out.
yeah.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Excuse me. B&D is still streaming.
He wasn't for me when I was there. It was on the not streaming.
He's definitely streaming. Oh my god.
Maybe it ended for me. Let me click the tab. Oh, he definitely is streaming still.
I really like white chocolate. Cheese doesn't like me though. Oh, hey, I will talk about that. Let's divulge the topic for a second, because if you are lactose intolerant or you have a dairy allergy, which are two different things. There are so many cheese substitutes now that are actually really good and good for you. Like there's ice cream substitutes, Daiya, Daiya cheese. They have shredded cheese and sliced cheese and blocks of cheese. They make cheese for pizza, and it's made of arrowroot if you're not allergic to that, and it melts really, really well. So that's a fantastic substitute off the top of my head. But there are so many other substitutes out there if you don't already know about it. I had to cut out all dairy milk products for a significant amount of time when I had my child. So I encourage people to look outside of just dairy options. And sometimes, like, if it's not a lactose intolerance, it is dairy when you struggle with cheese. We actually tried a place local for my dad who has a dairy allergy. We tried a local place that they made the cheeses that were all vegan, and they were made out of like cashew and all kinds of cool stuff, and they were so good. They made
delicious.
the flavors amazing.
Yeah.
Like I will recommend them 110%, obviously, if you don't live here, but go out there and look and see. There's all kinds of really cool substitutes. I was just going to say that goat milk or goat cheese can be less harsh on your intestines as well. And then just make sure your gut health is like super strong and make that a priority first. Sorry, I just had to talk about cheese because I fucking love cheese and I like cheese substitutes. So I used to put avocado on stuff that I normally wet cheese on, and it was a really good substitute. If you don't like avocado, it might not be for you. And now I want cheese and candy. I could eat the rest of my pizza. It has cheese on it, and I have chocolate, so yeah, that's actually more common than you think. I think that the body, my personal opinion is that the body is not okay with intaking dairy, and our human bodies are really good at adapting and dealing with a lot of stuff that comes into our bodies and just trying to hold out for a long period of time. But at a certain point, your body's like, I can't handle this anymore. I have other shit I have to take care of. So things like celiac disease comes up, and being gluten intolerant and having a dairy allergy, and like going through stuff like IBS and having those secondary problems because of the food that you're feeding yourself. I will talk about this forever. I love food as medicine. So
These are topics that I will be quiet about because I don't know shit about them.
But I'm really like interested in that, and gut health is a really important thing. So cutting out a lot of other stuff and doing an elimination diet is really important too, like starting over and figuring out like what's making you react, like if there's other stuff like gluten that's bothering you too and that's exacerbating your body, and your body's like, okay, I can only handle one problem at a time. Like look for those indications too. A lot of people get older and develop those types of allergies, and that is my point of view. Like I think that the body is like, okay, I'm really tired of working really hard to fight against this, and I don't want to do that anymore. So you get a reaction from it. Yeah. I was going to say, I know Emmy knows a lot about this because she's had to go through so many elimination diets to figure out her reactions to things. That's awesome. That's awesome that you found something that works for you. It's hard too to find a yogurt that works for you. I am really interested in making my own yogurt, which is the most hippie thing I could probably say today. But you can make your own yogurt out of a lot of different things. Apparently, it's really easy to make like coconut yogurt, so I have not tried that yet. Please do it. That could be so much fun, right? Like, I think once I get an instant pot pressure cookery thingy, I could probably do that. I think that's the easiest way to make a lot of yogurt. I'll send you some yogurt. Yes, definitely add yogurt. I would suggest looking for like liquid probiotics too. And if you want to look into gut health, like prebiotics are important, but also anything fermented like a kombucha or sauerkraut, if you like sauerkraut, or even like fermented cabbage, a little bit of pickle juice, that kind of stuff is definitely look into gut health, look into that base. Like you need the right bacteria in your gut to process those kind of things. Exploring and make your own foods is a good thing, especially to so many additives right now in everything. Like you don't know what's going to make you react because there's so much shit that you can't pronounce in the food that's out there. Like making things on your own makes it very simplified and gives your body an easier way to digest things. Yes, don't depend on prepackaged foods. Definitely don't do that. Or like read the ingredients. Like if you're looking for something, even if you can't buy organic, read the ingredients. Make sure that you understand what you're putting into your body, because if you're putting other things into your body, you may have a mixture of things that don't work well with each other, and your body's like, please stop, I can't handle this anymore. Like even like if you're drinking tap water, there's a lot of stuff in tap water that could be mixing with things that they're putting in the food, and your body's like, I don't know what this is. Sorry, Deb, I think you're wrong.
Here's the great thing about facts. You cannot believe them. That doesn't make them not facts.
I did say that those were my opinions, but I have studied that specifically for a really long time. These are the conclusions that I've come to. Everybody's body is different, but
Definitely.
when it comes down to it, the stuff that you put in is really important to pay attention to. If your body can handle it, it may only be able to handle it for a certain amount of time, and then your body will just start giving off. If you're like solid rock star, keep going for it.
You want to come visit? Don't pull that down.
It's because we have to be. Like, I think a lot of people don't think about that because they're not told like when they're younger. I think it's general public, it's not being like encouraged to learn about their own bodies first. You're really like just saying, oh, well, we have to pay attention to this triangle, or there's experts that tell us like how to do these things, like feed ourselves or grow our own food, or even birth. Like I will go on a different rant on that on my channel if I need to. But really things that are natural to yourself, you're not taught like, hey, learn about your body and what it does and what it can handle, and how it should function properly. You're just told, oh, you should be having this, you should be doing this, and people just go along with it because they aren't encouraged. Even through doctors, they don't commonly encourage you, make sure you look at this, make sure you ask questions. Your doctor's like, well, I told you to do this, so do it. And that's not fair. Doctors have opinions and they do have professional degrees, but it's only in certain things, and they don't usually they don't usually keep up with those degrees. They don't get progressive with them. That's good. Do that. Look into gut health. It's really important. It's so important to even just learn what your own body does. Like pay attention to what you do. Generalization happens a lot, where you go in and ask an expert and they're like, oh, well, this many people do this, let's try this. Figure out your own instincts and your own body, and research stuff like immune systems and gut health, and what's important for your body to take in and what you should avoid, and that'll really help you out. Look at your puppy.
What are you doing?
Oh, he wants a big
What are
hug.
you doing?
He says, I just need a snuggle. It's time for bed.
What are you doing? You want a treat? Yeah, you want a treat?
Yeah, I think that's a common thing that happens, like gluten with carbs and dairy. Like we are taught that those things have to come into our bodies. Like that stuff has not been updated for a very long time. And I will go on a rant about dairy. Cows make cow's milk for large cows. They have stuff in it to grow a giant cow. What did we look up last time? How much cows actually fucking weigh? Like, for some reason, we have been convinced that dairy milk is the staple of your diet, and that is not how that works. You are not a cow. You are not trying to be the size of a cow that has 4 stomachs. Cows have 4 stomachs. We do not. Cow's milk is made for cows that have 4 stomachs. Like, also the process and treatment that goes through, like a little bit of like raw milk can be good for you, but only in small portions. Same with like red meat. If your body can handle that, like, don't overdo it. Yeah, all of those things. Elimination diets are really good, and when I say diet, it just means like taking the steps to find out what you're allergic to. It's not like I'm starving myself and I'm only eating one thing. It's just paying attention to what you take out of your diet, what your regular eating habits are, and saying, oh, is that affecting me? Like, how is my body responding? That kind of thing. We could talk about this shit all night.
No, we can't. You can. I have nothing to add. I don't really drink milk
anymore.
No, I never really drank milk. Like occasionally I would have milk with like cereal or something, but like I don't.
Milk and cereal. I'll sing that song too. Yeah, definitely. You can always message me. It's adding one thing a week and saying how, yes, yeah. Learn your body. That's important. Don't just listen to other people. It's your body.
That's the same lesson though that we gave about Twitch too. Is like, don't just listen to other people. Figure out what works for you.
Right. Well, and I will go back to the beginning of life. If you start young, somebody else is not teaching you how to care about yourself and how to listen to your instinct and how to listen to yourself. I will bring up a really strange example. Like, little kids are always pushed away in their thought process and their stories. And this is way out there. There's tons of children that have memories of their previous lives that they bring up, and their parents are so weirded out by it that they're like, oh, you're just making that up. Or like, oh, that's 3-year-olds say weird things. But those children are actually like talking about what happened in their body and their experience and their soul or whatever thing they went through, and they're completely ignored. Like, they're not taught, you know what, listen to that, let's think about that, what happened, and like, how are you feeling? They're not taught like, tell me when you're full. They're taught you need to eat everything at the table. Like, you just have to go with it. You don't learn how to listen to your body or listen to your gut instinct, which is really huge. You have to relearn that as an adult.
So I just logged into Wisebot to look at the unfollow list, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts, 7 accounts since November that unfollowed because the account was closed, which makes me think they were banned.
Y'all banned. Yeah, y'all banned. I just been banning people that have been following you.
Just everybody who follows me apparently custom just reports them as a bot, and then they, like, some of these like followed me for.
Yeah, I don't like that profile picture. Banned.
One of them followed me for 349 days.
That's pretty good. I'm banning everyone in chat as a bot. Do it. I think some people are fresh souls, but a lot of people have been coming back. I think it's their decision, though. I think it's people's decision. We should have Emmy on so that me and her can talk about life and food. Well, all that stuff.
You and Emmy can come into Discord, and I'll put Emmy right here, and I'll just sit here, and you guys can you guys can stream. You guys can stream on my channel. It's fine. And
we have a podcast channel, thank you very much, that we can go to. I'm talking about future podcasts.
Well, now that I know Emmy can create emotes, maybe she can make a our touching tips logo.
Yes. We need touching tips, not necessarily fingertips, but suggestive abstract tips. It can be multiple tips, not we don't need just 2 tips.
Could be 3.
Yes. I think that sharing knowledge is hugely important, and that's definitely why I have consistently been interested in a podcast and having people that can share knowledge and learn things from each other and help other people. Like helping one person today, fantastic. Helping multiple people today, amazing. Like that is super important. If we help people in the future from our VODs, like that's even more important. Like people learning is huge, not just following other people around. Going out there and learning and sharing information is really important. So yes, please be guest. We will have this talk later. Or I will consistently stay up and talk about all of those things. That's super important to me. I do have to pee and get water, and we should probably close out because it's almost 12:30. Have you found anybody that you would like to raid, or is there anything else you would like to add?
No.
No and no?
Correct.
Are you tired?
No.
Would be guest. Yes. I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Let's see. I don't even know where the channel is. Hold on, I'm finding things. One a.m. and you forgot to pee the entire. Well, you should pee. If you haven't peed since then. Let's see.
Oh, definitely pee. My body won't let me forget. I'll just end up peeing on myself. The older you get, the harder it is to hold it. Don't hold it any more than you have to.
Yeah, I don't know who to go to.
Okay, let's been look.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to do someone that's just chatting or
Maybe.
a game? Or...
Maybe, because I don't think it really makes sense to send somebody over to like Black Ops or Valorant or something like that.
I mean, I'm always for Mr. Chan Chan, but I'm just biased. Mr. Chan Chan is amazing and a fantastic example of a streamer that takes care of his people. Is hilarious. I did not even go to his channel yet, but I know he's fantastic, generally speaking. There's a lot of other smaller people, though, that I could recommend, but they're all playing games. Let's see.
Let's do Mr. Chan Chan. I like Mr. Chan Chan. Also, I'm gonna preface this.
B&D's still streaming too.
He is, but it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily make sense. I don't know how long he's gonna be on either because it's already 1:30 for him.
Yeah, he was on for a while.
Yeah. So I'm gonna preface this that I highly, highly, highly recommend you follow Mr. Chan Chan. Even if you don't like Mr. Chan Chan, follow him and unfollow him later if you want to. But I highly recommend you follow him when we get there.
Let me see what he's doing. Hold on.
Right now, yeah, it looks.
I think they were feeding the baby.
Yeah.
He has a family that is with him regularly, which is amazing. So I think he's setting some stuff up right now. He did just recently go live. He said it.
We can talk for a few minutes and wait for Mr. Chan Chan to be fully ready to go because again, you say not a chance, Dub. It is highly entertaining and very fun at the same time.
Yes. Dub may have already seen Mr. Chan Chan. You don't have to do anything. It's just really fun. He's a fun.
Yeah, I wasn't saying I'm forcing you, but I said I recommend. I
I
recommend it.
recommend. I don't even know what they're gonna do today. Is he doing a cooking stream? Oh
Looks
my
like it.
goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, we're done. I have to watch Mr. Chan Chan.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Mr. Chan Chan.
And we can hang out. It's whatever. I'm just pumped that he's doing a cooking stream.
So, thanks for hanging out. Again, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate everybody chatting and whatnot and lurking and all of that and participating in whatever the topics were. I will probably actually take this video and put it up on YouTube because I think I don't want the VOD to be deleted. So
It's valuable.
yeah, so we'll do that and go. I'm gonna drag it out to make Dub wait, and but go if you are so inclined. I don't know that you'll get the same reaction because it is a cooking stream, but I assure you it'll probably still be pretty fun.
I'm so excited.